that.
He's in bed right now. He came home from work and he's tired.
Okay. I mean, alright, that's fine.
If only I had like a cool gamer girlfriend. No, I'm not bitter.
Oh, that's something I mean... yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't hear you over my fiance.
Love you too, Joey.
Yeah. Okay, I've already started streaming my side because, quite frankly, screw up. So, whenever you say, like, turn over to, get in her or something, or...
Anna's doing homework, so...
Yeah.
Nailed it. Test.
Test.
Rest.
Yeah, I need to fix that.
Yeah, okay.
Rest.
Audio output capture.
We bring you this battle live from Gym Leader Castle. How will our intrepid challenger fare against the best of the best?
Just
Okay, it's gonna be annoying. There's a way I can make it just automatically full screen, right?
got that parry. Alright, someone say something.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello everyone, my name is ScrappyFan92 and this is a review of the Nut Job Part 2.
You had that prepared.
Okay, it doesn't... Okay, whatever.
Alright, that's ready to go live anytime, so.
Okay.
Vigorous attack.
Any word on Nova?
Whoa, looks like a bad Pokemon
Thoughts?
choice.
I just need to do one thing myself.
Oops, it's paralyzed. The intense battle continues.
Yep, that thing is done now.
What now?
Shooby-doo, shooby-doo. Also, do you like my mic quality? It cost me a fortune.
Yeah. Yeah, it's alright.
Oh, Thunder Punch.
Oh, it's alright, better get a fucking refund then.
Oh, is it down now?
Solely alright.
What will the next
Like a shiny
Pokemon
Butterfree.
Oh, you're looking at the stream, right?
be? Oh, it's Pidgeotto.
I think that's called a... No, I think you've got it wrong. It's not Butterfree, it's... I can't believe it's not Butter.
It sounded like I was like loading a shotgun there.
Gets actual shotgun to nobody's surprise.
You seem more like a sword guy to me.
Oh, damn
I'm a
it.
crack shot.
Paralyzed on the spot. There's a big difference.
I, for some reason, have an innate ability to handle firearms,
Yeah.
Here's a
which should
Pokemon.
terrify you all, because my fiance shot Harry.
Oh, yeah.
Pikachu.
What now?
No, we were playing with.
Oh, by the way, we're English and guns are illegal here.
It was like a soft gun where like
That didn't take much.
Soft.
yeah she shot
Which Pokemon
shot me
Her
with
defense was she didn't think it was loaded. So
Yeah, she didn't think
pointed at
she-
you and shot you.
shot me in like the stomach, and it's like, oh, I didn't know it was loaded. It's like, oh, okay then.
different type?
Also going, ow.
Well, I mean, it stung for about like 5 seconds.
It's building energy for the next attack.
Oh man. Must be nice to just have airsoft guns there.
They're expensive, and I'm not allowed to buy any more until I get my own house.
Wow, that's an effective hit. Oh, it's
But man, they're fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Terrifying. Get your neighbors to call the police on you!
Oh my god.
If they're bright blue, they're toys. No, trust me. If they're bright blue, bright red, bright orange, hot pink, it's a toy.
Yeah.
If it is a realistic depiction, you either need a filming license or you need a airsoft license, which you can get from going to a airsoft venue and playing, I think, 3 games,
Hmm.
and then paying a fee.
Okay.
I think it's called a Yukara license.
Yukari Mobile.
Isekai.
Isekai. So how about going into ReZero?
Just kill yourself. Don't get hit by a
Crackers, what happened
truck.
to that?
Just
Sorry, I was just looking at that. Like Dugtree looked like it glitched out on the screen for a moment.
Oh yeah, the emulator is really screwed up like that.
Jeez Louise, that was horrifying.
I mean, I spent 2 weeks trying to get people to set up like time zones and shit, and now we've got this problem. We've got 3 people sitting a call doing nothing, waiting on the prayer of a 4th.
I mean,
They strike fighting poses.
It's out
These
on
3.
their server.
You guys know anyone?
I know many people, that's why I'm sending requests on their server.
okay.
I'm perfectly okay with talking to Rando.
It's confused. What a furious battle.
If only Dabbot still existed, we could. I don't know.
Whoa, wait a
I mean, we've got comms bot.
Yeah, boy.
Wait, that is that bot.
What now?
It's also dead.
A decent hit.
And so many bots are just dying.
Neither one is
It's because they're not kept up. It's like every couple of months we have to go hunting for a new bot.
Yeah.
Uh-oh,
Remember,
it's
like, the-
confused.
2 hours we had RubyBot for?
Oh yeah, the one that's like a complete savage.
There, it's a hit.
Really?
Intense battle
That was
continues.
something.
What? What?
Come on. Yeah, there was this Ruby bot. Well, it's just Ruby like, just like taking massive jabs at people.
Fireworks are
I mean, she couldn't take a small one. That scythe is fucking huge.
Finally.
wonderful.
Someone who gets the joke.
Oh, is it down and out?
Apparently some big stuff's happening in
Pokemon
Volume
Z.
7, I think.
I still need to finish volume 6.
Oh, it's executed.
I got sick of
It has
ads.
to make up for lost ground. How will the type difference affect that? It shook off its confusion. What will it do? It's confused.
What fucking chat am I in? What?
Oh.
Whoa! It attacked itself. There's a big difference in HP.
You know what, just tank it. Yeah, just...
It's self-destruct. Severe hit. Wow! Going down.
1 second, going on Craigslist. Looking for podcast, looking for podcast guests for video games.
Oh, crap.
Need immediately. Like, hey, no.
That's disabled. The disabled
Man, this is so bad.
It shook off its confusion. Oh, toxic! It opted to slowly damage the opponent. Neither one is conceding an inch.
So, the fuck's no one watching me when I stream Tarkov? You got lives or some shit all of a sudden?
What now? Miss the target.
No one told me.
Disable war off.
Oh, that's quick.
Leech seed. There, it's a hit. What a furious battle. They go into battle posing. What's next?
Bitches not watching me play my freaking running 4x first into death streams.
Oh man,
That's funny because I keep getting shot in the fucking 4x.
this battle's
I
going
didn't know I
horribly.
had one. I didn't know I had a 4x until I got killed in it repeatedly.
Yeah.
The intense battle continues. The combatants face each other.
Why is Golduck called Golduck?
Mm.
It didn't do
It's
much
blue.
damage.
Because
That's-
yeah, I don't know.
Oh! Is it down and out?
Yeah, I'll be booing up Sonic the Hedgehog 206.
Okay.
There's only one Pokemon left
could
in
as
reserve. Oh, it's Dugtrio! It's one Pokemon against two now.
Oh god, the
The
Dugtrio
tenth
thing, I
battle
forgot
continues.
about that.
Jeez Louise.
The culling failed because it was
What now?
garbage.
Good hit.
It's kind of weird seeing invisible fur on them.
Yeah. I'm gonna die.
What's next? The move failed to click. Fireworks are flying in this battle. Here's a Pokemon trick. Oh, it's blue!
Okay.
That's the Mars Automatic.
What's
No
this?
shit, 19.
A decent
The
hit.
freaking 1911 freaking remained in
Will
service
this
this very
Pokemon
day.
swap change the flow
Is
of
that a
battle?
shiny
Did not have
gloom?
a move, honestly.
Not sure. I know that
Burrowed underground.
I know the
Okay, shut up.
CPUs
Mega
can have different colored Pokemon.
That's a miss.
Yeah, this is pre-Gen 2. This isn't. They don't have shinies yet.
Yeah.
It's just weird Pokemon Stadium coloration.
What's the
Yeah.
weak spot? How's that?
Oh
Super effective.
god.
What a furious
This is gonna be
battle.
like the skin of my teeth if I get this.
Base strike fighting poses. It's burrowed underground again. It's
For
trying
Pete's
to
sake.
absorb. Oh, the attack missed. The intense battle continues.
I actually do like Gloom a lot.
Yeah, Gloom's cool.
Nail the weak spot. Oh, is it down and out? Both combatants
This
are
Pokemon
down
looks
to their
taunted,
last
though.
Pokemon.
Yeah.
We're down
Okay.
to the last Pokemon. Ow, this one's ready to drop.
This could go either way.
There's just one Pokemon aside now. The battle is coming right down to the wire.
If I get hit once, I'm dead, so hopefully this crits.
Miss the target. Fireworks are flying
Or just
in this
does
battle.
enough.
Savage attack.
Oh, come on.
The attack wasn't effective.
Mm,
There it goes.
maybe...
That's a good
Ah,
It's finally taken down.
that sucks.
And there goes the battle.
Okay. Yeah, let's just start over. God. Diglett and Dugtrio are like cursed.
I'm not even gonna look.
So I watched a movie yesterday evening.
Yeah.
It was called 1917.
Okay.
That's it.
Sorry, I didn't catch that one.
How was it?
It was a cinematic masterpiece.
Nice.
Honestly, it was fucking amazing. Truly an experience worth watching.
Nice.
It does not feel like you were sitting in that chair for 2 hours.
So time just flew by.
Oh yeah. Any responses?
Still sending out feelers around several servers.
How long until we should just say screw it and just start doing it?
Give it another 10 minutes.
Okay.
So, say midnight.
Yeah.
Because I'm in the United States.
Yep.
Yeah, but you're gonna jack off.
We bring you this battle
I'm not saying I'm
live
going
from
to,
Zen Leader
I am saying I
Capital.
probably
How will our
could do.
incredible
Yeah, please don't.
fare against the best
course I'm
of
not
the
gonna-
best?
Bruh.
They go
So, you
into
done anything
battle.
interesting recently, Harry?
Oh, and a
Let's
Pokemon
see. I've been
Oh, it's
playing
back.
Kingdom Hearts 3. Besides that, not really.
Here's the first move.
Anything non-video game related that you've done that's interesting?
Furious battle.
Uh,
They strike fighting poses
Left your house in the last year?
of course.
and confused. Whoa! It attacked
Been
the
watching-
Joe being a dick?
intense battle
Sla
continues.
very slowly watching Pokemon with a
Combatants
Scrappy.
face each other.
That's an experience.
Hypnosis.
Or Indigo?
The move
Yeah,
is
Yeah, we're starting from the very start.
Yep.
It's on Netflix.
upped up its special rating.
We're using a
Neither one
Pokemon TV
succeeding an
website.
inch. Now, here's the
Mainly, we have a big, like, I'm so not used to people providing free and legal anime online.
Mm-hmm.
This is surreal.
Still won't attack.
Like, they just
Yeah.
have it there with no ads.
Will this Pokemon swap
Yeah.
change the flow of battle?
What is going on?
What now?
Chronicles.
The special stat is down.
What's going on, Chronicles?
Dark Chronicle was an amazing game.
Uh-oh, it's confused. Fireworks are flying in this battle.
So you know when you're looking on the internet and you see people going on about Typhlosion, and it's clearly a fucking
There,
Cyndaquil.
it's a hit. Oh, is it down and out? What will
What?
the
It's so
Pokemon
popular, we
be?
call Cyndaquil Typhlosion. Woo!
What,
Oh, it's
what
the
gen
jar.
is, Cyndaquil from?
Gen 2.
Two.
Okay.
How will the type difference
But no one
affect
really
that?
remembers Cyndaquil because despite it was adorable, it wasn't Chikorita cute.
What's that? A savage hit! It's
I think
heating
Gen
up.
7 actually had a healthy mix of starter picks
The heated battle rages on.
because they made all of them so goddamn adorable.
Yeah.
They go into battle poses.
If you chose Pimplop by the end of the game, you regretted that.
Clear hit.
And you get Gen 8 where, like, was it the monkey turns into DK, Donkey Kong.
Oh, it's down.
DK!
There's a difference in the number of reserve Pokemon.
Yeah!
We're down to the last Pokemon.
God.
The
3
remaining
minutes.
Pokemon count is 3-1. The battle has become one-sided.
So we putting on music in the background.
Welcome.
Major damage.
As long as it's not too loud.
Yeah, I can tweak it.
What do you have in mind?
Takedown.
Who the fuck are you?
What a furious battle.
Wow, that's
Oh, hi Nova.
wow.
A psychic.
I've saved
Wow.
the city. Thank you.
With rock and roll.
That's yeah, that's impeccable timing.
Wow. Go.
I'm not
I don't
apologizing.
not want it.
You're wanted, but I'm not apologizing.
No, but he's been in a bad mood.
I've been in a bad mood for days.
Alright, well, whenever you want to start then.
Alright, did anyone have an idea for music, by the way, if I'm going to be putting any in the background?
I have some
Sounds-
SNK music.
Yeah, anything that doesn't get us, like, copyrighted or something.
What the fuck?
Why in the heck?
Here's the second adversary. The challenger needs to stay calm to earn victory.
Nice sounds.
I've got an idea.
Oh, and a rough Pokemon change. Oh, it's Execute. It improved its defense. Are they testing each other's strength? They go into battle poses. Here's a Pokemon change. Oh, it's Dewgong.
Wow.
Oh,
Garbage.
The move failed to quit. Will this Pokemon swap change the flow of battle?
I'll just put on all the Fallout questions.
Oh god, no.
No, I'm not doing that.
It doesn't have to be anything crazy, just put like a game playlist on or something.
It opted to slowly damage the opponent. The intense battle continues.
Fucking 10 hours of elevator music. It's copywritten, so I can't.
Authority.
No, seriously, the elevator music is copywritten.
Oh,
And like 15 minutes of Nakaru themes that we can just play.
No, just in 15 minutes of
what will
Nagaruru
the next
things.
Pokemon be?
Oh god. I mean, I'm down for that,
Oh,
but
it's Gloom.
that's still just 15 minutes.
How will the type difference?
At 0? Yeah, that's at least. How long do you expect us to go on?
I have no idea.
What's
I've got a playlist.
Oh, cool.
Attack power down.
I mean, if we have to do a part 2, we have to do a part 2.
Hopefully people join us next time.
Both combatants still have plenty of gas left.
Yep, I've got music set up. Alright, start streaming then.
Alright, so you're doing the intro, I suppose?
Yeah, but the title is not going to be Joey Reads Bad Fanfiction while Lewis
No,
Cashley
no,
plays
no.
Outrun 2006.
What's next? Next the weak spot.
Okay, so,
What a furious battle! There it goes! Devastating! Oh!
Brain Block Podcast Episode 1, pod...
There's a difference in the number of reserve Pokemon. We're down to the last Pokemon.
And you know how to, like,
Pokemon count is
export them to
3-1.
YouTube right after,
The
right?
battle has become one-sided.
Yeah, it's called Tell Harry to do it because I'm lazy.
It's doubly
I can walk you through the process. It takes like 5 seconds.
Trust me, it'll be way easier for you to do it.
Well, I need to get into the channel first.
super effective.
Whatever, we'll discuss this after.
Going down.
And hope that works.
The
Alright,
next
confirm and go
Pokemon is
live.
being pressed.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Here's a Pokemon chain.
Hello and welcome to the Brain Block Rock.
The remaining Pokemon
Fuck.
are
Nice.
1.
Quality intro.
Yep.
A psychic blast.
By the way, can someone check the stream? Make sure that all the audio is fine as well.
Alright.
Is it down and out?
I mean, in hindsight, maybe should have done a pre-stream, but oh well.
Yeah, I did a pre-stream.
What
from
you
that.
want quality on Seaspring?
Yeah. That's why I did a test stream for my side earlier. Yeah, I did a
What you want
pre-stream.
anyway. So yeah, welcome to the Brain Block.
That's why
I'm
I
gonna
did
fuck that up again.
test stream for my side earlier.
Hello and welcome to the Brain Block Podcast with your hosts Harry and Joe. So yeah, welcome to the Brain
Uh,
Block.
the-
And tonight, our guests are.
Hold on, before we go on, the music. Okay, the music is too loud and we all sound too quiet and muffled.
Okay. And tonight, our guests.
So make
I've
sure.
got the music quieter.
Is
that better?
The music. Okay, the music is too loud and we all sound too quiet and muffled.
Okay. Right. Amazing podcast,
Music
honestly,
quiet.
10 out of 10. Is that better?
Okay, is there anything you can do about audio?
Your audio needs to be louder in your opinion.
Yes.
Have you tried turning up the sound on your own end?
I mean, it's
Okay,
also
is there
that
anything you can
and...
do about audio?
Your audio needs to be louder in your
Okay,
opinion.
hold on, everyone say something first off.
Yeah, they're dead.
I'm still here.
Hi.
Bandana
Oh.
V for Smash Brothers.
So far, we've
Yeah,
completely
they're dead.
and utterly fucked the intro, and I want to start this again. So.
No, it's fine, it's fine.
I'm still here.
I mean, we can
Bandana
just
V for
class this
Smash
as a test
Brothers.
stream, and then we can boot it a second time and then export
So-
that, because honestly, this is a complete mess
Okay.
at this point.
You can restart the stream, it's fine. No, okay, I think...
Okay.
I think audio volume is fine, just up your own mic a little bit.
My mic.
Yeah.
Right.
Fine.
No, I don't know why it sounds so muffled though.
Fuck if I know.
Like Scrappy or Nova, like if you just take a look as well.
Okay. So. Right. I can't make myself louder on the stream. It would be completely and utterly impossible.
Yeah, just bear with then, I guess.
And you guys are definitely louder than me because of how it's coming through. Myself louder on
Yeah.
the stream. It would be completely and utterly.
Okay, they can hear you, so it should be fine enough.
Definitely louder than.
Just have to I mean,
Okay, we
yeah, I don't know why the quality's coming out like that though.
Whenever I try and check my streams, it always just glitches out. So
yeah, I don't know.
You're using what are you using to stream?
well, according to this, nothing because it's saying error 3000. All right, I'm using Streamlabs OBS.
Okay.
Nothing because it's saying error 3000.
What does it sound like to everyone else?
I mean,
Me?
I'd love to know personally.
Yeah.
Sorry, what now? I heard Joey's audio through the multi-twitch, and it sounded fine, a little soft, but it's fine.
Is the audio coming from my stream or the Seaspring stream though?
I only have the Seaspring stream unmuted, so
Oh,
Alright, let me try and do this.
The Seaspring stream though.
Alright, first of all, someone's
I only
trying to
have
knock my
the
door off
Seaspring
its
stream
hinges.
unmuted, so
I mean, we can hear everyone at least, so I mean, it should be fine enough, I guess.
There goes the battle!
Oy.
It's the gym's third opponent. The gym leader is waiting right after this. They go into battle poses. Here's the first move. Hit the weak spot.
Alright, I'm back.
The attack wasn't effective. What a furious battle.
So if we want to just go like this, it should be fine enough.
What now? What's the weak?
1 second. I'm checking some things for myself.
Okay.
What's next?
Posing for a fucking portrait here.
The gym's third
I hope we
If I
aren't.
make
The gym leader is waiting.
if I make
right
one
after
wrong
this.
move, my headset might disconnect some.
Oh,
They strike
how many books do you
right
own in your
into-
house?
Here's
A
the
few.
first move. Nail the weak spot.
You have enough, I'd recommend stacking them and trying to hold your USB drive in place.
What will the trainer
that's a
do
good
now?
idea.
Test.
Hello.
Severe hit.
It's working now.
What a furious battle.
I'm
Oh,
in a
throat.
very specific position.
What now?
My audio's fine.
Powerful strike.
Alright.
Alright, I'm gonna reset the stream because otherwise that reverb's gonna last forever now.
Yeah,
Oh, well.
that'd be awkward as hell. Oh god.
What's the weak spot? Oh! Is it
Wait
down
to
and
see it
out?
go dead. Hopefully not have my parents scream at me because it's 1 in the morning because organization is dead. Fight me.
Sandshrew! It has to make up for lost ground. How will the type difference affect that? Try that, sir! Whoa!
Nice.
Looks like a
Alright, should be live now. Should.
Okay, I'm just waiting for it to change. Yeah, there we go.
Nice.
Yep. Alright, should be live now. Alright, welcome to the Brain Block Podcast. And we're your hosts, Harry and Joe. I'm
Hello.
Joe, he's Harry.
Hello.
And today our guests are...
I'm Scrappy Fan 92.
Hello, I'm Nova, and I feel like after the end of this, I'm gonna be stiff as a brick.
Nice.
Remaining Pokemon count is 3-1. The battle has become one-sided. There, quick attack!
Alright, our topic of the day, if you guys don't want to say anything else for...
Yeah, I was waiting for you to
Use this
get
one.
into the topic, yeah.
Pokemon is coming
Alright,
out.
straight into the topic, let's go. One,
Yeah.
two. Alright, our topic is basically the games that we played for the first time in 2019. And it's worded specifically that way because not everyone played games that came out in 2019.
Yeah, because most of the stuff I played were just a lot of older things and just kind of catching up on like backlogs and stuff. I don't even remember anything I played that came out this year. Or the last year rather.
I mean, there were a lot of AAA things that came out, but honestly, like, in my opinion, the best game of that year was Call of Duty.
Wait,
So-
Kingdom Hearts 3 came out last year, didn't it?
Finally, yes, it
Okay.
did.
Okay, yeah, I played that.
Alright, so let's talk about Kingdom Hearts 3 then.
No, I'm not bringing that bag of worms right away. But like, okay, so what we did last year was like we rotated who, like talked about a game. So who should go first with this one then?
I mean, I don't mind going first.
All right, be my guest.
All means.
I'll start easy with something that I didn't actually play that much of, but enough of to understand it. Alright, so I played Ace Combat 7 Skies Unknown because, basically the service came out in 2019 for, the ability to play Xbox games on your phone so long as you have a controller with you, wherever you are.
Hmm.
So I played a bit of Ace Combat 7, and there is definitely a story there. Too bad I skipped it because I was at work and I don't want to spend Kojima a number of hours watching the story of Ace Combat 7. And from what I understood, basically, you fly around, you shoot guys down. A war started after the first level between the non-existent kingdom of Who Gives a Fuck. You wanted to get monetized, didn't you? There you go.
Nice.
And yeah, and so you got your plane. It's got machine guns. It's got rockets, and you don't use the machine guns because you're never going to hit anything, and you just use the homing lock on rockets.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a flight simulator. It's a good flight simulator as well. Not even
Nice.
gonna deny that. Like as flight simulators go, there have been some terrible ones, but Ace Combat 7, good one. I definitely recommend it to anyone who actually wants to spend more than 30 minutes playing it.
Yeah, and I mean, like, if you have like lock-on missiles, then it's probably not gonna want to use much else.
Yeah, but you run out of the missiles because they're limited. Alright, who's
then.
next?
I guess I will go up next then.
Okay.
Alright.
Since I am a horrible person, I've only actually played about 3 games for any serious amount of time in 2019, and the oldest of those games is Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, which I was basically continuing up through 2017 and 2018.
Right.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't be done with this game if the remake of Crash Team Racing had not been announced like in 2018.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, hooray consumerism. Yes, I'd already done a Crash 1 portion in 2018, so Crash 2 and Crash 3 were handled in 2019, and well, definitely, like the PS1 counterparts, they are definitely improvements over the original.
Yeah.
She was probably the one that got the least of the Crash games. Crash 2 is probably the one that got the least tweaks in the remake, and
Mhm.
yeah, it's kind of it. Like Crash 2 is Crash 2.
Yeah, Crash 2 is pretty much just
Didn't
Crash
get any-
2 with Insane
Didn't-
Trilogy physics, basically.
The Pokemon are
Gets
entirely
us-
different types.
The controls aren't that different from the original. Didn't get any additional levels with its steaming, so it is what it is.
From what from what little I played of the remake of the Crash trilogy, I actually didn't like how they updated the controls because I preferred it how it was in the originals. Maybe I just preferred clunkier, old, out-of-date controls over smooth gliding across the floor.
I mean, well, what, did you play all 3 of the games, or?
I've played like a level out of the 3 of them over time, I
Okay.
think.
Okay, yeah, because the thing with the Insane Trilogy for me is that my first playthrough of all the games were kind of rough. And
Giggly.
it wasn't really until I went back to them after that point where it kind of just sort of clicked with me, and it's come to a point where if I play the originals now, I just can't do it. So it's like there's a bit of a learning period if you're so familiar with the originals, but I think for what it's worth, they control well in their own regard.
Yeah.
That being said, there's no defending the bridge levels in Crash 1 in the remake.
There's no defending the bridge levels in Crash 1 in the original.
Well, at least with... I mean, at least with those though, the floaty controls made you stay in the air longer, so you can think about your next move before you get murdered, I guess, or fall in the pit. It's like, I don't know, in the remake, it's a lot snappier, which is good for most situations, but when you're doing the bridge levels, it can really mess you up.
Try not to think about little bridge levels anymore. Actually, I don't try to. I try not to think about Crash 1 a lot anymore. Period.
Besides those 2
Oh,
levels, though, Insane Trilogy, Crash 1 is the way to play that game, I think.
They strike fighting poses.
Oh dear, Crash 1. So yeah, Crash 2 is Crash 2, and because I am a man of my generation, Crash 2 was basically the warm-up act for Crash 3. Again, when I played through all of them in 2012.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Crash 3 is more or less mostly unchanged in the remake, but the one thing, and probably the biggest sticking point for a lot of people, is the tweaks to the vehicle controls.
Yeah.
Oh, is it down and out?
I don't know if the bike is worse or better, but the jet ski is definitely tweaked, and I got used to it, but it was definitely took a while to get used to.
Yeah. I'm very off and on with Crash 3 Insane, because it's like, I really love how Crash controls on foot in this trilogy, but the controls are very hit and miss with the vehicles. Like the plane levels, I think are just unanimously agreed to be better in the remake, but
They weren't bad to begin with.
they were serviceable.
Respectfully disagree.
They were serviceable. They were definitely a massive change compared to everything else. But stuff like the motorcycle, the jet ski, and all that is that stuff's a lot more hard to say, because they're so different from the originals, and I swear the handling is more strict with the motorbike. I could be wrong, but
The combatants are making sparks fly.
it's hard for me to say whether or not I prefer the original or the remake because of them, though. So I don't know.
Why? Take it down with one hit.
Fair.
Both combatants are down to their last Pokemon.
But yeah, I'd No, what are you gonna say? What are you gonna say?
No, I was
Go.
just gonna say about the awkward silence.
The battle is coming right down to the
Oh gosh.
Here's the first opponent.
For some reason, the Rings of Power, which was my favorite plane level in the original version of Crash 3, is somehow harder to deal with in the remake. Maybe I was just really lucky when I first played it in 2012, but
yeah, I don't know. I feel like they made it harder. Like, something about it. It's like, it felt like a free win in the original, but it's like, they did something that made it harder somehow. I don't know. It's weird.
Mind you, I still was able to get 105% in the remake when I couldn't do that in the original, and that might just be experience finally paying off, or maybe Area 51 is actually easier in the remake, and I just was able to psych myself up after that.
Oh yeah, Area 51 I can say straight out is easier because it's like, one thing, the visibility is much clearer. You can see more ahead of you, and I think the gold relic time is a lot less strict. I don't know how much of a difference there is, but I do know that some of the relic times got adjusted.
Got a gold relic on my first time, and I don't know how that happened. I wish I'd taken a picture.
Yeah.
I would frame that on my wall.
Oh man.
And, well, my reward, quote-unquote, was for actually getting everything was actually trying out the new bonus level they created, Vicarious Visions created in 2018.
Yeah.
Yeah, Future Tense. I think we've been over that several times. Firstly, boxes that are hidden behind you at the start of the level can go to hell. That is the first and last word I have on it.
Yeah, they brought back like, I know like Sphinxinator did that, but I don't recall many other stages. I think it happened like a couple times in Crash 1, but I don't remember many stages offhand.
Fun times. I will say that it's at least a nice taste of what Vicarious Visions could do with a console-level original Crash game.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of my favorite. It's probably my favorite stage in all of Crash, honestly.
There's just one Pokemon aside now.
It's definitely a
The battle is coming right down to the wire.
patience tester.
Yeah.
Super effective.
Still haven't gotten a gold relic on that. I'll get to it
Oh
eventually.
yeah. It's definitely. Trying to get the platinum relic on there is really rough.
I'm never doing that.
I pretty much, I platinumed all of Crash 2 and I've done most of Crash 3. I think the only ones I haven't really done are the vehicle stages. But, yeah.
Oh my.
It's kind of weird that Crash 2 is the only game that doesn't have an extra stage now, though.
It never will.
Every level aesthetic in the main game proper.
Yeah.
Like to have a fourth snow level, Harry?
I mean, I like the snow levels, but I mean, I don't really want another Cold Hard Crash style death route, so.
You mean it wouldn't make you moist?
The greatest in-joke.
Nice. Oh god, didn't need to do that.
Opponent of this
Oh god, are we
Oh,
going
no.
to start with the unbearable jokes again?
No.
Unbearable, I see what you did there.
Honestly, it's just pandemonium when we get started on that.
Surprised there's actually not a Crash level called Pandemonium. I'm sure if like Yaya shows up in a mainline game, they'll do that exactly. That exact
Yeah.
thing.
But the thing with
At the end of the day, we're just not qualified to come up with that sort of level of idea.
the thing with was it Future Tense that excites me though is that the fact that it's just a taste test of what Vicarious Visions can do really excites me for what the next game will be in the future, because it's like this is what they can do with like assets from just Crash 3. Just imagine what they could do with like completely original stuff. And it's like we just going by this alone, we could find a game that's like miles ahead of like 2 or 3, and that idea alone is just really exciting to me.
HD Snow, it makes Harry moist.
Indeed.
3-2.
Playing through the Insane Trilogy, basically marathoning through it last year. Yeah, Coco's fun. I'm very happy that they made her playable in most of the levels. I wish she had more death animations though.
I think I've heard that a lot of the death animations were like just turned into angels just to avoid what was it like the whole offense against women or something?
More like the game didn't have much of a budget and Vicarious Visions was already going past their limits to add a new character.
I mean, that's probably to do with what it was too. I know that Toys for Bob helped with Coco though.
You know what I want to see?
Hmm.
I want to see Crash 4 added as DLC for the Insane Trilogy. And you can't say it can't be done, it's impossible, because honestly, MCC did it twice with Reach and ODST. So,
Well, I mean, the thing with that though is that for MCC, they're just releasing ports basically, whereas like this would be like a game built from the ground up. They'd probably use like assets from Insane Trilogy, obviously, but like that's still they still have to make a full game. Where
I mean, they kind of have to do that with all the MCC things. They do have to. It's not just a port. There is a lot of work
no.
goes into remastering textures.
yeah, but like
They
there's
just end up looking exactly the same in some cases.
no, that's fine, but it's like that's just inherently gonna be like making Crash 4 would just inherently have to be more work because they're gonna have to make a lot of things from scratch. Whereas I think it would be more beneficial for them to just make a new game at this point, which I hope is what they're doing at the moment.
Half of Cortex had to die so Nitro Kart could live in Crash Team Racing Nitro Fueled.
I do appreciate
I'm not
that,
sh-
yeah.
I'm not sure if that's a fair trade-off, but it seems to be what happened.
I mean, I'm okay with a Nitro Kart like basically just being alongside CCR, because it's like I never played either of those before Nitro Fueled. We probably shouldn't be talking about CTR just yet, but it's just like,
What now?
yeah,
A decent
I don't know.
I was gonna say. Played Wrath of Cortex in 2019. How was that, Harry?
Oh yeah, well if we're gonna talk about this quickly, I don't hate the game. I think it's perfectly fine as a video game, but it's like
What's that?
overall I'm very on it. It's like
Oh! Is it down and out?
I don't know. Wrath of Cortex is fine.
There goes the battle!
Would have
could-
liked to see. Sorry, what?
No, it's like it could be a lot worse, but it's like it's really nothing special.
Yes, I really would have liked to have seen Vicarious Visions try to clean up Wrath of Cortex for a remake, but I think they were stretched a little thin with Insane Trilogy to begin with.
Yeah.
And then Toys for Bob kind of stretched themselves a little thin for Reignited Trilogy.
Yeah.
Let's see where the budget kind of runs out in Part 3. Oh dear. Maybe if we're lucky, we'll get like a PS5 exclusive port of Insane Trilogy and
Decisive victory is
Activision outsources handling of it to a developer who will like just tack on a Wrath of Cortex remake for fun.
If there's one like minor run I can go on, it's the fact that Wrath of Cortex and Twinsanity are like stuck to the 6th generation, because it's like you can't find them on like newer consoles anywhere in like the PlayStation Store as far as I'm aware, and it's like
Oh,
the intense battle.
yeah, it's like it's really it's really hard to like find a decent copy because like every copy I find of Wrath of Cortex has like bugs or like the game just kind of freezes on the loading screens or whatever, and it's just like
Yeah,
The game was rushed to market.
yeah. Like Twin Insanity still works fine enough for the most part, but it's still stuck to the 6th generation, and they really need to like re-release them or like put them on the PS4 store or something. It's like,
even if they just got a half-assed Steam port.
yeah,
That's what I was gonna say. Like, I'm surprised Activision doesn't leverage the Crash IP more, honestly.
yeah,
Like, the PS1 games, like, in the early parts of the previous decade, were selling, like, hand over foot on the store front, but they never really went beyond CTR. Like, Crash Bash was never released as a PS1 classic outside of Japan.
And it was.
yeah.
What'd you say, Joey?
And it was a PS1 classic, fight me.
And the PS2 games just never saw a re-release, so
Yeah,
in general, yeah, if you didn't get like
Games were genuinely considered to be worse.
but they would have probably sold decently enough if people wanted to try them out. Wrath of Cortex sold a lot, so someone had to have liked it.
yeah. It's just like,
Oh, I'm sorry, was that a call for me to show off?
no, it's like, it's just like, it's annoying when developers and just companies and all that just don't care about preserving classics. Like looking at you, Nintendo with GameCube.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
What's a GameCube?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, you go online, this is a bit of a tangent, like, you go online, it's like, Fire Emblem games are like Paper Mario Thousand Year Door, and they go for like hundreds of pounds, and it's just like, why?
The 10th battle continues.
And do I need to say anything about the Fire Emblem game?
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Down and out.
I'm sorry, have you not seen Star Fox?
Both combatants are down to their last Pokemon.
Anyways, I think we've gone off on one enough. Is there anything else you have to say about Insane?
There's just one Pokemon
For all my grievances with it, it is probably one of the best video game remakes ever made.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. That's
It
a,
definitely is, yeah.
it's
I
a,
mean, it was being sold for $40 American, so, you know,
It's
bang
in-
for your buck.
it's a massive, like, that's a still. Especially now when there's a bundle with, I think it's Insane Trilogy and Reignite Trilogy in one. Like, if you go, that's like 6 great games in one. It's like, I don't know how much that goes for, but yeah, if you haven't played these games, then I would definitely recommend doing that. But if that's it, then
Children, because Activision.
yeah.
Alright, who's third?
You want me to go, or?
Yes, fuck off. I mean, what?
Nice. Okay, I guess I'll just tackle this, get this out of the way now. So, last year, I basically, near the start of the year anyway, I basically just went on a massive Puyo Puyo binge. So I listed down, like, a good chunk of them.
Are you doing all of them in one go then?
Yeah, I'm pretty much just taking them, getting them all down now. Yeah, it's a fun puzzle game. It's like pretty much a side dish, if you will, to Tetris. And as far as puzzle games go, there's a lot of like fun depth to it, like just learning how to stack your pairs correctly and seeing how many, like, what kind of chains you do. The characters are fun, and the like little story situations and whatnot. It's just kind of a series that's just a lot of fun, cutesy character designs, and you know, if you're into puzzle games, then I think it's a series worth checking out. It's not too much to say about it, but you know.
Fun fact, the series Arl from Puyo Puyo actually hails from came out the same year as Tetris' Game Boy port.
Baron says ooh, by the way.
Oh, nice.
This battle is
There's not much I can say about the games individually. I will say that Piri Piri Tetris is probably now one of my favorite crossovers, just because it's like two really fun puzzle games mixed into one with a really charming and just very cartoony story that doesn't take itself seriously in the slightest, and that's pretty much why I love it. And the whole
Place dialogue ever.
yeah. And it's like, just seeing all the characters interact is really fun, and a lot of the modes are just a lot of fun too. Like, there's a swap mode where it switches between Piri Piri and Tetris every, like, 30 seconds to a minute, I think. And that's, like, my default way to play the game, because it's just switching between the two playstyles is a lot of fun, in my opinion. And trying to mix up your gameplay on the fly just makes you have to, like, just really think about what you're doing and what kind of setup would benefit you in the moment. And just the quick thinking is what really makes me enjoy playing the series in general. And it's like, yeah, it's a good time.
This is a fight between two different types of Pokemon.
Pretty much all I have to say.
They go into battle.
All for Smash is what he really wanted to say.
Yeah, I mean that too, but if it happens, it happens.
Everyone is here.
There's not much I can say about the games individually, because it's like they're the same games at a general level. It's just like minor differences, so it'll be like there's no point going over all of them.
Play more puzzle games.
Yeah, puzzle games are fun. That's pretty much all I have to say though, so if you want to move on to the next one.
Alright, that would be our fourth person whose name I forget.
It should be Nova.
Wow.
Wow, it's almost as if I'm actually in Seaspring 90% of the time.
Nice.
But seriously, well, I'm kind of in a similar boat that Harry's in right now, because I haven't really been able to play too many games in 2019, because money, what's that? But, of course, the main two games that I have played for the first time this year, I have a shit ton to talk about, so that should hopefully make up for it.
Okay.
Get on us.
Well,
And
Jess.
the first one, I might as well get out of the way. Sword and Shield.
Okay, this would be interesting. I haven't played Sword and Shield yet, but go on.
Okay, so mainly, I'm sure most, if not all of us, have already known all the ins and outs of the recent drama. I'm not gonna name it, because
Yeah.
So, exit to the reintroduction but pay for it edition. But not all of it yet. We need to release at least 3 more of these.
Yeah.
Go on. Hello?
All up because I think his mic may have gone out.
Please excuse us for technical issues. We'll be back. Nice.
Why am I craving a hot dog right now?
That's okay. I mean,
Too easy to make the joke, I'm not gonna make it.
Thank you, because I'm actually hungry.
Oh god.
making it very hard for me to not make the joke.
Oh no.
So you're
spaghetti.
into Isabel, are you?
Let's not.
Uh,
Battle with only the gym leader left after this.
Let's.
What
No.
kind of battle can we expect?
But yeah, a lot of people are looking forward to new Animal Crossing, which I'm bringing up while we wait for the technical difficulties.
Yeah, I mean, I might check out the Animal Crossing game. I've tried getting into the series like at least twice now.
I have never tried.
It's like,
Furious battle.
I don't know. I get it, but I don't know if the series is ready for me. I'll give the new one a try, but I can't guarantee that it's gonna be my thing.
All you need to know is that Isabel is for everyone.
Yes.
Oh, it's Weekenbeck.
get back.
Wait, are we back
Oh,
now?
hello, hello.
What now?
Yeah.
A decent head.
Fuck it, I'm just gonna be a contortionist now just to get my fucking
How
mic to
will
work.
this swap affect the outcome?
Anyway, what I was trying
Again,
to say
like-
earlier,
What
what I was trying to say earlier is that, look, whatever you think of, you know, the thing that Joey said, again, I'm not gonna name it because it's stupid,
Oh,
And I named it.
is down and out?
but,
Both parts of
whatever
it.
whatever you think
What
of
will the
it,
next
it's
Pokemon
not-
be?
it should never be the main point of contention when it comes to the quality of the actual game.
It has to
Yeah,
make
I'd
up
agree with
for
that.
Yeah,
the
I see that.
ground.
Honestly, a game can be amazing despite the drama surrounding the development.
This
Yeah.
battle is still up in the air.
Yeah, and that's how a lot of people just don't
Yeah, it's a
really
hit.
realize is that,
Oh!
well, not only that, but
Wow.
like,
The next
you've
Pokemon
never
is
really
being pressed.
been able to have every single Pokemon within one game technically because you always had to, I mean, you always had to transfer or trade to your game in some form or fashion since day one.
Yeah.
What's this?
Well, the problem was not about that, it was the fact that it was impossible from some of the, from Pokemon that you've had from, I think there was a cut-off again before where there was console incompatibilities, but after this, so I want to say like Gen 3 up.
Yeah, but basically that's,
It's one
and I mean,
Pokemon
I
against two
get,
now.
and I mean to that point, I guess it's technically quote unquote more reasonable because of its limitations.
The bear hit.
That's basically the main reason why Red and Blue were remade into Fire Red and Leaf Green, because you know you couldn't really transfer to Ruby and Sapphire and Emerald.
What a furious battle.
Game Freak tried, though. They did actually try.
Mm.
Yeah, but the main point being is that, like, in some form or fashion, you've always had to transfer.
He's died again.
Oh god.
Here's the
This
first
is-
trainer battle with only the
In some
two
form or
players
fashion,
left.
you've always had to transfer across games to some degree.
Yeah.
Be it wireless, shoving a Game Boy game into the bottom of your DS while booting the DS game and transferring your entire box that way.
Mm.
Yeah. So the thing is that,
The move failed.
and I guess, and I mean, it's not to dismiss any criticisms of still having to do that even now. It's like to some points I get it because it's not the Wii U. This is the Switch. It can handle a whole lot more than the Wii U ever could. I understand that.
Mm.
And also, not to mention, like, there's really, technically, there's really no reason why they had to come out in 2019. Like, there's no reason why it couldn't have waited until 2020 or 2021.
No, I'll tell you
Like,
what
and
the
I get-
reason was. The reason was money.
I mean, you know.
Yeah. That's what
I-
that's what I was getting at. That's what I was getting at. Like, technically, aside from money, there was no Like, if that wasn't
Yeah.
a factor, then yeah, there, I can see, I can agree that there technically wasn't a reason why they couldn't have waited until 2020 or later to release Sword Shield, but that's also the main point, because what a lot of people don't really seem to understand too well is that they're not the ones who decide, or who ultimately decide when to release something. That's the Pokemon Company.
Right.
And okay, they always need to please them, keep up in pleasing them, so that way that they're not dropped. Even though, like, and you would, and I get it, you would think that a franchise as successful as Pokemon would never need to worry about that, but that's the thing about capitalism, that a lot, and like, especially capitalism as it's practiced in Japan, like, that's what a lot of people don't really understand, is that even you could be the most successful franchise of all time, like rivaling Mario in other franchises like that, but you still gotta please the shareholders. You gotta still please your parent company.
Yeah.
Because if you try to argue against them, or you try to like, or you seemingly try to, you kind of like try to fight back against
Don't bite
what
the
they
hand that
want.
feeds you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
basically.
If you try to do that, then you know it's gonna cause a lot of problems that you really don't need to deal with as a company. So,
Yeah.
which is not to say that any criticisms of the games are suddenly invalid, but I'm just saying that this isn't solely Game Freak's fault that the games came out as they are, because because no matter what, they only make the games. They don't handle anything else,
Yeah.
at least for the most part. Okay, they just create games within the time allotted to them, and then it's published and sold off for money, which then they gain back. Well, and it's also their shareholders and parent companies. So no, Game Freak didn't quote unquote lie. They just have to say things that, in order to keep damage control to a minimum,
Yeah, damage
so that way
control in VR.
so that way
Yeah.
they can keep that under wraps, so that way they don't run into some shit from from the hand that feeds them.
I've heard
Because
the...
if they had full control of everything to do with their franchise, I'm sure for a fact that they would have approached this way differently than they did here. They wouldn't have rushed it out so quickly, and they would have been able to have more features that they probably might have wanted at one point or another, but they couldn't due to time constraints. And I mean, if you really dig deep into the series history, you can see that there were a lot of features that they wanted to implement way earlier, but they couldn't. So the thing about so basically the main thing that angers me about this is people don't really just don't want to listen. They don't want to try to understand where exactly
People live in their own bubbles.
where exactly Game Freak is coming from with this, because I don't think that they're really as quote-unquote greedy as people like to think they now are, just because of this one game.
If they were that greedy, they'd make you pay for Pokeballs with real money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give them ideas.
Yeah,
I
it
want
could be a lot
a
worse.
cut if they take it.
So Nova, how was the game itself? What were your thoughts on it?
Like overall, honestly, like
are down to their
like
last
it's
Pokemon.
it's yeah, I wouldn't say it's
Oh, it's
the
Leapingo.
best or like my personal favorite of the
There's
series,
just one
but
Pokemon aside
I,
now.
I definitely
The
say
battle is coming right down
I,
to the
I definitely
wire.
say like top 3, like somewhere top 5 or top 3 definitely.
Okay.
It really, honestly, it charmed me so much. Like the wild areas in particular, like the first time I saw them, like oh man, it just made me fall in love all over again.
Hmm.
Just being able to go around, just travel around, all throughout the vast landscapes.
I'm glad. Sorry.
Fast
My
landscape.
throat's just a... No, my throat's just a little dry. I'm
No,
glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I have Sword. I haven't played it yet, but yeah,
Do you?
like the wild area is probably the part that interests me the most about it, and the fact that the DLC is apparently, from what I understand, it's basically going to be an extension on that. It's going to be pretty exciting.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm definitely excited for that. But getting back to the base game, just being able to travel all over, just seeing all the different aesthetics, and really making the world feel open. Well, I mean, I guess that's subjective, and mostly, but it's definitely nothing that we've seen before. It's way more open, and you know, now you don't have to. You can actually really feel like you're actually there within the world. You don't have to like you don't have to go through grass. You're forced to go through grass and randomly encounter Pokemon. You actually feel like you're actually seeing the Pokemon and you're actually going to encounter them.
Yeah.
So you actually feel like you're in a Pokemon world.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And I guess to quickly summarize the story, I mean, granted, it's definitely not the best. I'd still definitely Black and White 1 has the best story so far, but
I will admit they had a very good story.
Yeah, from what I can
Yeah.
understand, yeah,
I won't say Black and
Yeah.
White was the best game, but it had a good story.
yeah, but it's at least serviceable. At least the story here is serviceable, and I know I'm probably gonna piss off some people when I say this, but you really don't play Pokemon with the story. You just don't.
Oh no.
No, not really. I mean, it's a nice bonus, and I mean, it is an RPG at heart.
I mean,
Trying to think of the
you play
last
Pokemon
time.
because it's cockfighting for kids.
Yeah,
Especially if you get
yeah.
2 Pidgeys.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the last time anyone actually liked the plot of a Pokemon game, and even Black and White, which seems to be the darling among fans now, was not universally well received upon release. So
Yeah, it's a goddamn Zelda cycle.
Yeah, I hate the cycle theories or whatever. It's like, it's pretty stupid.
It's like yeah, you see a lot of detractors and a lot of people who are thinking whining like this is almost the death of the series or something, just because of certain things that really weren't as in control, in Game Freak's control as they think they are. Some things were, but not everything.
Yeah.
And I know, like within like maybe 2 or 3, like 3 years minimum, when like around like when we're nearing Gen 9, then suddenly you're gonna see people saying, "Oh no, it was actually way better than we expected. It's actually was enjoyable. It wasn't shit." It's like, yeah, where the
Yeah.
fuck were you? Where the fuck were you around release, huh?
Mm.
Where
They were probably children just playing the games and ignoring the internet, as we all should do.
I mean, that's a fair point. I mean, it could be a mix of like. Well, I mean, like, it could be like different people. I don't know.
No. Well, yeah, but on that too. I'm just saying the same. No, I'm saying the same people who play this, hate it, think it's shit, but then some years pass, they replay it again, and then suddenly it's not shit anymore.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't know. I mean, it's fine changing. I mean, opinions changing. It's just gonna happen, but it's like. This. I don't know, it's weird sometimes. Sometimes it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, like you said, changing your opinion is perfectly fine, but it's when you suddenly do this sudden 180, when you seem like so set in your opinion the first time around that something's really good or something's really bad, but then suddenly, like, give it a few years, like, you instantly go from it being shit to it being good. It's like, okay, you randomly had this change of heart when for so long you said that you felt this other way about this.
Yeah.
Just... What now? But at the very least, for me, like, even though it's definitely not my personal favorite, like, I'd say at best it's somewhere in the top 5, but at the very least, like, the things that did charm me a lot, it just charmed me so much. And like the Pokemon designs, like, overall, like, I'd probably give overall I'd give it like an 8 out of 10. There's some Pokemon I don't really care about, and there's maybe like 1 or 2 I just don't really understand the appeal of, but mostly everything else I actually do enjoy in one way or another. And also, Score Bunny Gang for life.
Nice.
That thing's just fucking horrible.
That's the lowest Pokemon.
Yeah.
Score Bunny is cute.
Yeah.
And I'm just waiting till the day I actually pick a non-fire starter that isn't Bulbasaur. But overall, I just really enjoyed my time with a sword, and I'm definitely gonna get the DLC. Like, maybe not at release, but I am going to get it because I understand at the very least mostly where Game Freak's coming from, and I'm not gonna fault them for everything, because I know for a fact that not everything was in their control. I'm sure that they didn't want to release it, like, or at least in their eyes this early, but like, it is what it is. They at least put out a functioning product. This isn't a Sonic 06 of Pokemon. It's not
even close.
Yeah, but like, yeah, I'm just so glad I was able to talk about this finally, because I've had so much passion for the series ever since I first played Silver, and it just kind of hurts to see all this jumping to conclusions, all this rash backlash. So just everything. It really hurts.
What now?
But I know for a fact that Game Freak is gonna bounce back from this because,
Is it down and out?
contrary to popular belief, they're not becoming the Bethesda. They're not becoming another Bethesda.
That is a
Bethesda
massive.
turned itself into a Bethesda.
Yeah, that's a massive exaggeration. Like,
It has to make up for lost
oh
ground.
man.
This is a fight between two different types of Pokemon. Fissure!
But now that I finally got all of that off my chest, I can talk about the one other game that I played in 2019, Smash Ultimate.
Oh, we're going into this now. Well, I think you and Scrappy can mainly go because
Which Pokemon
I mean, I pretty much already talked about Smash in the last year's podcast, so
It's executive.
I'm gonna take 5 minutes to get a drink.
okay.
How will the
So
difference
yeah, you guys go.
Now,
It took me a while to actually get the game because, again, money, but like honestly, it's such a huge step up from 4. Like,
Yeah.
there's almost no comparison.
Furious
Just-
battle.
I feel like I can perform combos much more easily and more unique combos, and not just up tilt to up throw or something like that.
Yeah, Smash 4 felt very stale after a while because it's like nearly everyone in the cast had like a down throw combo, and
Combatants
it
face each
got
other.
a bit too samey after a while.
What's this?
Yeah,
The attack wasn't effective.
like at one point, like early on in 4's life cycle, I was
Go into battle pose.
like I kept thinking about
What's this?
like maybe like this would be the game I get into the competitive scene in, but like as the years went by, it just didn't really feel the same. Just I just like if it wasn't for the samey combos, it's just the overall, it's just the physics of 4 in general, and just
It's confused.
like and the just all the mechanics of.
They go into
And
battle
you know, there was no
What'll it do?
penalty for continuous dodging. The shield was pretty OP.
A psychic and it
Like it didn't really honestly.
go into battle
It felt
pose.
like
What'll it do?
over time, it felt more and more like just a better version of Brawl. Really, it didn't feel like a nice little compromise between Melee and Brawl. It just felt like just a better Brawl.
Yeah, which is interesting because
Man,
I
target.
I feel like nowadays
What now?
I'd be more likely to revisit Brawl than Smash 4, which I didn't think I would ever say, but
Confusion.
I don't know.
Yeah, the freaking single player content was.
Fireworks are flying this battle.
Yeah.
My
They
just,
strike fighting
you know, I just
What now?
achievements from the board, but that's really it. I didn't really go back afterwards to play. I just did what I need to do, and then I never touched most of the other modes again.
The heat of
Yeah.
battle
Oh, by the way, whatever happened to the 99-minute KO fast that never happened?
Well, that's a discussion for another time, but it's like, yeah,
Discussion whenever we talk about Smash.
Smash 4 is weird because it's like I have to like remind myself that that it exists. Period. Because I enjoyed my time with it when it was like the big thing and all that, but it's like
Pokemon stock is
I have no real reason to revisit it, and it just kind of makes me sad.
I mean,
Sorry, is this Ultimate discussion or Smash Wii U discussion?
I don't know.
No. It's just a Smash in general. It's almost never just one game.
Yeah.
Both combatants are down to their last Pokemon.
Yeah.
Now,
But if you guys want to just,
Holy Word.
I mean, what is there to say about Ultimate Variety? Because it's just like, it.
There's just one
I think by
more
far it's the
fight
best one.
now. The battle is coming
Yeah.
right down to the wire.
That's
mean,
the
I-
actual DLC that came out in 2019, people.
Hmm.
Savage hit.
Mm.
I am actually, despite having virtually no affinity for any character, any franchise these characters come from, from a gameplay perspective, I think I've been pretty satisfied with the DLC.
Right.
Never really
Um,
properly played a Fire Emblem game myself, but I'm just really good at those characters.
I left slow as they are is at least pretty fun to hit people with.
Oh yeah, Byleth's a lot of fun actually.
What'll it do? A decent hit.
I haven't played a single Fatal Fury or King of Fighters game in my life, but Terry is quite fun to play as.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Hero to... Yeah, sorry. Go on.
What now? Nail the weak spot.
Hero, despite never playing a Dragon Quest game, and despite barely ever using his specials, he's just fun to hit people with.
Yeah.
I don't know, like a simple man.
What's that?
I just
Goodness.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely my top 2 DLC are Banjo and Terry. Definitely no contest.
Oh yeah.
It woke up.
and yes, even if I don't play as them often, there is the fact that we have a Microsoft character running around in a Nintendo game. Like that's like at least funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Woke up.
like really like, and granted,
Give
even
me
if
Lara
Banjo,
Croft.
What's that?
even if Banjo didn't get in,
Furious
like honestly, I would still honestly be satisfied overall with the pack because like specific character controversies aside, the characters themselves are all fun to play as, at least in my opinion, are all fun to play as.
Yeah.
Like Sakurai really did his homework overall.
Yeah, and I've heard like the DLC cost specifically, he has a massive attachment to.
What's this? Hit the weak spot.
Let's give a round of applause to SNK for just being really nice.
Oh yeah, it's like, what music do
They
you...
were always nice.
Yeah, because it's like, we picked out like 50 tracks. Which ones are we allowed to use? Yes.
Yeah, it's a hit.
Oh my god.
Take it down.
Like, I almost couldn't fucking believe when I heard there were 50 of them.
Clear.
Terrible.
A moment of silence for Mai Shiranui.
Guys, can I circle back for 1 second because I've got Azzy's thoughts on Sword and Shield.
Oh, okay, okay.
Alright, so word for word, Azzy said that she loves it, it's fun and the idea has been created and designed, but she doesn't agree with the idea of the DLC and she thinks that it's just wrong.
Alright then.
So, yeah. Back to Smash.
Oh yeah, SNK in their 50 tracks.
But you guys are getting tracks, says Final Fantasy.
Yeah, right.
Oh man.
We'll talk about Square Enix in his heart, in his house, pardon me.
Excuse me?
Easy victory should be
I think you
within
mean 3 houses.
Oh no.
Soon, Joey.
Oh man. Yeah, I've been
Wait,
meaning.
is it soon? Are we actually talking about?
I mean, I haven't played. I know people in CS have played it, but I don't think unless
I
you
haven't played it.
yeah, unless you played it, Nova. I don't. None of us have.
Yeah, I want to play it, but I haven't yet.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't even seen my Switch in like half a year because my fiance stole it.
An easy victory should be within reach.
So,
Yeah. Did you guys have anything to else to say about like the base game?
Smash base
Actually-
game.
My thoughts on the base game are: I thought that the World of Light was. Wait, is it called the World of Light?
Okay, yeah, that's a good. Yeah, I was actually gonna ask about the
World
World
of
of Light.
Light.
I was actually gonna ask about that after, but you can talk about that now if you want.
Alright, so I really liked it in the map from what little of it I actually played. I never got a chance to finish it because my Switch was reallocated to more needing peoples.
Yeah,
That's the softest way I can put that.
it's definitely World of Light definitely gets hard as hell for some spirit battles. I've noticed.
Oh yeah, I've seen some ridiculous ones, and half the time it's basically just the only way I've been able to win them is the AI killed itself.
Oh,
I
it's
think.
It has to make up for lost ground. This
I
is
actually
a
finished World of Light in 2019, and this is before they patched in the very easy difficulty.
Thunderbolt.
Even on the regular easy difficulty, some of those battles will put you through your paces. Like
Yeah, and
Gino.
I'm playing on hard, and it's like, oh boy.
Which
Mate, what
Pokemon
pussy
is
plays on
coming
easy?
out?
Grow a pair.
Pussy right here. You got a problem?
Boy.
Primate.
Good.
Oh man,
Scrub.
How will the type difference affect battle?
good.
Combatants face each other.
Just,
What now?
what was I gonna say? It's a fun little
Decent head.
romp, I guess. Maybe a little too long, but I've learned playing it is that I would just rather, I'd like to see a full-fledged Nintendo RPG.
Yeah.
Because there's too many characters that need some spotlight in a game outside of Smash Brothers, because they will probably never get any significant spotlight in a proper Smash Brothers game anyways.
Well, you see, what it is it's this Russian-designed rocket launcher that goes Yahoo when you fire it. That's the Nintendo RPG.
God.
Furious battle.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, so World of Light,
Thrashing about.
it exists, it's competent.
It's thrashing.
It's better than Melee's Adventure Mode by virtue of actually, you know, having some meat to it.
It has substance, yeah. I still think, I think overall I prefer Subspace as a story mode. But
Fighting poses.
World of Light,
Oh, it's
I appreciate the fact that they tried a story mode again at the very least, because the Smash 4 didn't have one at all.
two now.
It's a very good middle ground between the board game of Smash 4 and the okay, what's it called in Brawl?
Subspace Emissary.
Subspace.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a mid.
That's a fair way to describe it.
Yeah. I do like the overworld.
My
Smack the weak spot.
sticking point is just lack of co-op, and they patched in co-op into the regular Spirit battles, and I'd hope that they would eventually do it for the story mode, but I guess that's just too much effort for
I think-
like 600 battles.
I think what for me what would make like pretty much the perfect Smash story mode would be have the same overworld setup that World of Light has. I have more cutscenes like in Brawl. Maybe not as much as Brawl, but have at least like a good chunk. Maybe not make it as long. Like I don't think we need to have the mode be as long as World of Light, because it goes on for maybe a bit too long. So maybe cut it down a little bit. Add in co-op, obviously, and then just add in some platforming stages, because that's like the main thing that I feel is missing from World of Light. Just have just have like some platforming stages every now and then to break up the normal fighting stuff.
Yeah.
Also, I want all that stuff, and
Yeah.
I want Nintendo to de-age me like 10 years so I can not be a cynical asshole while playing a game for once. I was the right age playing Brawl, because if I replayed it now, I would probably be way too critical of it.
Yeah.
I'm actually less of a cynical asshole as I am now than I was, 3 years ago?
No. Yeah.
I want to say 4 years before that was basically flat out naivety.
I'm happy at least someone here is happier now.
Actually, no, I was fucking edgy when I was 13. What am I on about?
I was in a weird phase during that time.
Oh, I'm not even going into it, but when I was 13, Jesus. Do not go into my past. It is a pit of terrors and horror,
Yeah, I'd imagine.
only rivaled by actual war.
Oh my god.
You wanted an exaggeration? There
Yeah,
isn't
boy.
one.
Do
Anyway.
you miss trophies?
Alright, where were we?
Yeah, we're talking about World of Light.
Yeah, like honestly, like
They should have added a dark mode.
What now?
I mean, there is a World of Dark.
Is it run by the evil Mr. Dark?
Oh, if only.
Say that.
What was that? Hints into Rayman being added into Smash? No.
I remember.
Harry's hopes and dreams must be crushed at all times.
Yeah, I'll be quick on this, but like, I remember this video where it's just like, oh, look at the cloud. It looks like a Rayman head in a K. Rool trailer. Maybe that means Rayman's gonna be added. So, oh my god.
What is this Smash 4?
No, this is Ultimate.
Oh, do you remember when they got Crash in Smash?
Oh god. Oh yeah, the
Sticker on the TV or some shit.
My gosh, I hate
It's
that video.
Crash! It's amazing.
it could still happen. It could still happen.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, I could get a Crash Bandicoot sticker and my Switch back right now.
I think real talk though. I think Crash has like a massive chance with the Pack 2.
The first opponent. An easy victory.
I'd be surprised if he doesn't get in. Really.
Well, first of all, we need my boy, the Doomslayer.
That'd be fun.
Like Bethesda isn't like Bethesda's either misdirecting or they actually are being truthful when they say that they haven't talked to Sakurai. So
I mean, I feel like they
his
can't.
final smash can be the BFG.
Yeah.
Like, one of his smash attacks could be like the chainsaw. Like, a range attack be like a rocket.
Here comes
Close
the
range
first
shotgun.
An easy victory should be
I don't know.
within reach.
They definitely had to tone it down a little bit though.
Oh, they just basically don't include blood, and basically the weapons are comparatively flowers to their actual abilities in game.
Yeah.
I mean, his recovery can be that super shotgun thing in Doom Eternal.
Oh yeah.
Like, he'd have a double jump, and then he also has that chain. If you use that chain on an enemy opponent, it would be like Scorpion in Mortal Kombat, without the ripping someone in half from the skull.
What now?
I know people who want Scorpion in Ultimate, so
There's the attack.
Get over here!
definitely be interesting.
Battle continues.
Alright, a little bit more off topic for a second. Do you remember that death battle between Master Chief and Doom Guy?
Yes.
Master Chief would lose that today.
Yeah, he would.
Like, if they did a rematch of that, Master Chief would get fucked.
Yeah, because 2016 just like, for lack of a better term, just pretty much just buffed Doom Guy like mad.
Oops, that's a miss.
believe that.
2016's fun. Looking forward to Eternal in like,
Down and out.
was it March?
The exact day that Animal Crossing comes out, so you get a choice. You get Rip and Tear or Debt.
I have seen some great fan art where it's just what is it? It's just Isabel riding Doom Guy. It's like it's great stuff.
Yeah, I've seen that one as well.
Yeah.
On Hentai Haven.
No. We're not going there.
waiting all day for this.
Oh, jeez.
Probably.
Combating.
That's Joey.
Oh, it's Vanguard.
I had low expectations, and yet you still disappointed.
Honestly, I expect this wooden. I accept this wooden spoon with a black sharpie on it saying "You tried."
Uh,
I will hang it up with pride.
nice.
Also researching how to remove sharpie from wood so I can use it as a cooking implement.
Okay, anyways, I think we're going a bit off track here. Did you guys have anything else to say about Ultimate?
I'm still rooting for Shantae. Like, I
Okay.
still think she has a chance.
Lewis has will hold your sword for you. Is that how the metaphor goes? That the saying goes? I'm tired. Lewis
What?
will be in your corner, friend.
Yes.
It's 2 in the morning. We're all tired.
I mean,
I was streaming for 7 hours earlier, so.
Oh god. I mean, I'm fine personally, but yeah. Yeah, if we wanna move on, who was it was you, right?
Going along the chain, it would be me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me find my document. That's Harry's. Alright, so I am now on Apex Legends.
Okay.
Now, believe it or not, Apex Legends is a really good, fun game. Like, as battle royales go, like, Fortnite ain't shit to Apex. Yeah, Fortnite's got that building aspect, but honestly, it's more like Minecraft Hunger Games than Fortnite, when the Apex... If you like Titanfall and you have an interest in the battle royale genre, you'll like Apex, because Apex is basically a Fringe world. Like, the plot of it is like the Fringe worlds after the Titan Wars, and there's this massive death tournament going on, and everyone in the game has their reason for being there. I mean, I main a character called Bangalore, who was part of the army, well, a army, and ended up getting disconnected from her unit, so joined into the Apex games to win for the prize money so she can reunite with her unit back in the core worlds. And every character has lore like this. Like, a fan favorite is Caustic. It's hard to describe him. You know the guy from that really popular TV show where they make crystal meth in a caravan? Breaking Bad, that's the one.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Anyway, the main character. Imagine the main character of that, but way more evil, and so basically, just a complete and utter psychopath who is obsessed with the concept of killing people with poison gas, and joined into this tournament just to kill people.
God.
Yeah,
Right.
like he's really dark, but he's also
Wow.
a major fan favorite.
Wonder why.
Another character, Pathfinder. He's basically this robot with a grappling hook with this really upbeat, cheery personality. And I swear to God, if I ever came across it in real life, I'd probably try and fucking bitch slap him, because it would just piss me off being that cheerful. It's like, way to go, friend!
Yay, friends. Oh,
I'm like,
man.
please die, I despise you.
Oh,
He's
man.
actually a really good character, being able to, because his ultimate is basically being able to deploy a zipline wherever you are. It's within range, of course, because you still
Yeah.
have to lob it across the map, so.
Hmm.
And then you and your team can use it, but then also the other team can use it. I mean, saying it's about Royale, that's all I really need to say about that, but like, there's, even in the weapons themselves, there's references to Titanfall. With, like, the R99 is basically the next generation SMG that was in Titanfall 2 specifically. I don't know if it's in Titanfall 1, where they had the R98.
Hmm.
Like, it's that close. And yeah, I definitely recommend it. It's free to play. Yeah, it gets its money through a loot box system, but that's EA's doing. Like, all of the events and the loot boxes, and 90% of the controversies come from EA pushing their... Well, they're putting their foot forward in any direction. Christ, I mean, they get Worst Company of the Year every year for a reason.
Yeah.
I mean, if anyone else has anything to say about Apex, or I can just keep it short again.
I have nothing to say. I've heard about Apex Legends, but it's just,
Yeah, it's really fun. I mean, it's not as popular now as it was a little while ago, but they'll probably come up with a new map, and then it will get a major boost in popularity again. I dropped out of the game because I didn't like the change from Kings Canyon to the new map.
What makes the
I think
new
I've
map?
calmed down.
What,
Like, it's big, but it's also tiny at the same time. There's a lot of complicated things in it, where it's like there's this train that goes around the map, and it's covered in loot. So, of course, everyone just drops there immediately, everyone gets horribly murdered, and the loot isn't even that good there. Like, there's far better places to drop. The map's too big, so by the first ring, you end up having to run like 5 miles to get into safety.
oh man.
And it's just ridiculous. Whereas in Kings Canyon, it being slightly smaller, it's far more centralized. I like the idea that they had with the multiple biomes, because it's very Hunger Games Book 2 oriented, where in that arena, it was based on a clock, and then on every number that would be a clock, the gap between extending out for the full circle of the map was a different environment and hazard. So it's a lot more like that.
Okay.
But honestly, I'd just rather go back to Kings Canyon. There was so much more lore there. There was more interest. Like, this other place is just like, it's just another arena, you know?
Yeah, I can understand that.
It's like, imagine in Halo, like, actually Halo's a good example for this. It's like, you play through the campaign, and then you go into the multiplayer, and then most of the maps are based off places in the campaign. There's lore there, there's history. It's like, you know what's going on, you know why this place exists.
Right.
And then there's just blocks in the middle of a desert with a couple of pillars that you shoot people in.
Also,
it's
it's
got nothing
like,
to do with anything.
it's just
It's
random.
not even a good. It's not even a good map.
So it's just random uninspired area.
Yeah. I'm not saying it's uninspired, but I mean, honestly, this new map is very inspired. There was a lot of
okay,
thought
fair
that went
enough.
into it, like, but it just doesn't suit me and how I play the game. It
Okay.
doesn't work with me.
Alright, fair
Also,
enough.
I spent what, 5 months developing all these strategies, landing points, combat scenarios in Kings Canyon, and it just all ripped out under my feet. Even though one of the things that I was complaining about most of the time was there aren't enough maps, there needs to be a map rotation of at least 3 maps to keep people interested, because you can only play the game for, what, maybe 3 hours, because it's like, for fuck's sake, I've died every time, I haven't won a single game, my squad is shit, fuck everything, fuck you, you're cool, fuck you all to hell. It's like, it needs squad rotation is basically what, map rotation is what I was saying, and then they say, oh, new map, and then I'm like, yay, and then they're like, but we're getting rid of King Canyon. You maniacs! You blew it up! You blew it down!
Oh my god.
Alright, so, Scrappy, do you have any other games? Because I thought you had like 3 games.
Yeah, he had that. He had 3.
Yeah.
There's just one Pokemon
Or he's just completely left because he heard me talking and was just utterly uninterested.
Yeah, how much did they pay you to say that?
Absolutely nothing, but I would happily accept being paid for that because it is actually truthful, and it tells EA to fuck itself because it basically blames everything wrong on with the game on EA.
finding an
Nice. Is Scrappy still here?
strike fighting poses.
I don't know. I think he died.
It opted to slowly
Let me
damage
check.
the
Is he in the
opponent.
call?
Yeah, he's in the call.
Yeah, he's in the call.
There's the attack.
Coco!
That's the weak spot.
Ah, wrong call.
The intense battle continues.
Do 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 do
Do do do do do.
What'll it do?
do 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 do. I don't know.
Oh, that. Do do do
Roll with
do
thrust.
do do
Wow,
do
that's an effective
do do
hit.
do do do. Yeah, that's it.
Oh, hey, are you back?
What a furious battle.
Scrappy?
Combatants face each other.
Scrappy dappy do.
Hello.
Vigorous attack.
Oh, I get it. You
So,
go off and just leave me to talk about something, and then wait for your turn. Come back late.
Oh, I literally just left like a minute and a half ago to get a snack.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
fair.
Okay.
Now,
Safe
Okay.
environment,
Yeah,
despite
you-
the shit I chat.
Okay, well,
what's that?
anyways, what, you have like 2 games left, right?
The opponent.
Well, no, I've already talked about Smash Brothers, so I have like 1 game
Oh,
left.
okay, so, right, yeah. Okay. So, a
Yeah,
Spyro
no.
time?
I play Spyro.
This matchup has become one-sided.
I
I
want
play
to.
Crash
Oh.
Team Racing Nitro Fuel.
Oh, right, CTR, my bad. Right.
Starts thinking about the Sonic Free Rider theme.
That's the weak spot.
We need. Wait, what? Sonic Free Rider? Yeah, I think I'm Sonic. Yeah, I was thinking Sonic Riders. We need a new
Yeah,
one.
good.
We need a new Sonic Riders.
Yeah, a new Sonic Riders game that's not crappy motion controls, please. But anyways,
I remember coming home and playing that game, no matter how awful I was. Like, I didn't even have the full copy. I just played it on a PS2 demo.
Sonic Riders is great, but CTR, Scrappy, go.
Remember how I was talking about how Insane Trilogy is one of the best video game remakes of all time? Yeah, I think this is better. And
I don't even understand.
I'm saying that with the acknowledgement I'm not even that fond of the original CTR, but it's just a matter like Nitro Fuel is an example of how to properly advertise a game and build up hype.
Yeah.
Expectations like bare minimum. Oh, okay, you're getting a remaster of this one 1999 game with online, and then they slowly just start rolling out everything else.
The gym's third
Oh, remember that one sequel that came out in 2003? Now you get to play the tracks remastered. Oh, you're getting the
Yeah.
characters too.
Like
And you're getting the
the,
boss characters from the Game Boy Advance version.
when they announced the fact that Nitro Kart content was gonna be in, that kind of just solidified my excitement pretty much.
Uh-huh.
And they show off
I did
the-
act- I did actually play this game quite a bit with my brother, to be fair.
Right after this,
And I'm not talking about the original, I'm talking about this.
Right.
You have a brother?
they strike
Yes, I have a
fighting
brother.
poses.
I call him Liquid.
Or I'm more intrigued by that than the game actually.
How do you not know I have a brother? I tell everyone I have a brother.
Well, you didn't tell me until today. You talked about it during our E3 2019 discussion, I'm not sure.
Oh,
Probably not. I usually don't bring it up, but
no.
I'm not gonna slander him like I usually do whenever I bring him up. Also, he's actually been alright recently, so...
Basically, we have a fun kart racer with plenty of content beyond the original game and its immediate sequel that people actually did play.
I enjoyed it. The sequel.
Yeah, I enjoyed it also. It was the first Crash racing game I owned. Wasn't
like
good at
shooting-
it, but
I liked getting Tem Wumpa Fruit and shooting the missile at the asshole in front of me.
got nice customization. and microtransactions, but we don't talk about those.
We don't talk about Activision pulling an EA.
I'll say this: at least the microtransactions are easy to avoid.
There, it's a hit.
Well, if
If-
you play the game 24/7.
Well, I mean, well, I mean, I will say it's really scummy for the target audience because it's like they're kids; they don't know any better. But
I mean, most of 2019, if you looked at gaming news, it was basically just trying to get a country to initiate legislation to stop this shit from happening in the first place.
yeah,
I mean, yeah, it was all based on 2K and EA, but honestly, Activision got really lucked out managing to hide under the rug despite how much sweeping was going on.
Activision prefers to enact their microtransactions after launch.
yeah,
Call of Duty, we will get to you.
yeah.
Just love poison pills.
Anyways,
What's next?
Yeah, so I was gonna say, like, it is just very. This is an old man moment, and I'm only 23, but it's just very nice to see games from around the turn of the millennium getting the glow up. Like, I never thought that I'd be seeing a game. Excuse me, what am I trying to say? Nigel Card is older than
game from your childhood entering into the modern domain a second time.
basically like
Now, when you
Nostalgia.
can properly appreciate it.
didn't know how much I missed Nitro Card until I saw it recreated in front of my eyes.
I mean, you could always get it on the
So-
PS3 store.
It's available on that.
Wait, Nitro Kart? Oh shit, no.
I own
The
CTR
original.
on my PS3. Yeah, I own
Yeah,
CTR.
yeah.
The next Pokemon.
You could also put it on
And
your PSP
Peter
if
Pan
you
was-
got one.
Should get a PSP.
No, get a PS3 and jailbreak it. Trust me, it's the best PS1 emulator you ever owned.
How will the type difference affect that?
Okay,
Go into
even as someone who liked CTR, the original, but wasn't in love with it like a lot of people are, I do, the mechanics are good, and Beanox basically took those mechanics and ran with them. There's just so much love put into this game. Like, I hear the online's chaotic, but I don't play online.
I haven't played
Just-
a lot of online.
And it's not just love for CTR and Nitro Kart and Tag Team Racing also. Like, Beanox
never
loves
played
this
Tag Team.
franchise.
I think I played Tag
I-
Team like once.
What's next?
It's a different beast from the other racing games, as you probably surmised, but it has its merits, so I've heard. But yeah, Beanox just
And make a move.
like in a year, a decade in some respects, where franchises were kind of trying to sweep their less popular entries under the rug, occasionally to their detriment.
What was that? Crash 4?
Beanox. Beanox just said, no, we're looking at this entire franchise in its totality, we're picking what we can salvage,
Yeah.
and we're gonna try and salvage as much as we can and make it look pretty and treat it as evenly as we can.
I do like that Beanox is like, yeah, I like that they're bringing in like all sides of the franchise, because we even got like Evil, Coco, and Crunch from Might of a Mutant in there as costumes.
Game that Japan never even got.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Persian.
Oh, seeing as we're talking about the Titans games and the racing games at the same time, if you were me and when it came out got Crash the Titans on PS2, the collector's edition of it, it was the only one they had in store and I really wanted it, so they just gave it to me for regular retail price. Honestly, game is awesome.
Nice.
Like, it came with a second disc with a bunch of extra stuff. And a cheat code, but I can't remember what the hell it did. I think it was like maybe extra lives or something, or like big head mode. Anyway, not the point. My point is, basically, one of the extras was a developer interview of what they were of, like, yeah, it was a developer interview of Tag Racing,
Oh, okay.
and I can't remember it for the life of me, but you could probably find it on YouTube somewhere. And they were talking all about how they were talking about the cutscenes mostly, I think. And there was also another thing where it was a developer interview of the art and game design of Titans, and they were talking about all the new technologies they were using. Jiggle bones were just becoming a thing then. So that's basically how they got Crash to move in certain ways. The tattoos were a specific art thing, so that to say that Crash and the mutants were one when he was controlling them, and it was a symbiotic sort of thing, and they used those exact words. So I remember that and barely anything else. But
Forgot his tattoos glowed.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually a clever gameplay design choice. I feel
Yeah.
like we don't really appreciate that enough.
It
Yeah.
really was.
That is
And honestly,
definitely-
this interview was actually really good. And remember, I was watching this interview when I was like 8.
Yeah. I mean, this,
I think the other thing on the disc was
Yeah.
just the art collection of concept art.
I mean, I'll say this: I have much more of an appreciation for the Titans games after replaying them. So
As games, they don't hold up very well. They were great when we were kids, but there are a lot of individual development aspects in them that can be used as case studies for the development of the late, what was the PS2's gen, 6th gen into the 7th gen, and what technological advancements they were using then that was pushing the PlayStation and the Xbox to its absolute limits, that ended up carrying over into basically being considered the baseline and the minimum requirements for the new consoles.
It's burrowed underground.
yeah.
What a furious battle.
Both said that the post-Night Owl games didn't push technology.
Yeah, because like because I know like the Naughty Dog trilogy, it's like they cranked like as much, for lack of a better word, as much juice as they could from those games.
Oh gosh,
'Cause
I am a
it's,
12-year-old. I am sorry.
Yeah, probably should have picked a better word than that, but whatever.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm just going to assist you in your juvenile behavior and say boner.
It has to make up for lost ground.
Anyways.
Fine wine, yes.
But you have anything to contribute?
Yeah, see, Nitro Fuel's great. It feels very...
Back on topic.
Yeah, yeah. It feels really great to build up a bunch of drift boosts. The story mode's a lot of fun, and Mario Kart is in dire need of one, please. Yeah, it's a simple premise, and it's just it gives you something to do if you don't have like friends to play with, or you don't play online, and
I have no friends, so I have to play by myself.
yeah, it gives you a lot. It gives a single player a lot to do. So yeah, it's a good
Yeah,
time.
do you want to hear exactly what Mario Kart needs to do to come into the next generation and make the ultimate Mario Kart game?
Turn to mission mode.
Shut up.
That and make it Nintendo Kart.
I mean,
Oh, we don't even have EGAD playable yet.
I could talk, but okay. Alright, so here's what I say. Basically, every single racetrack from every Mario Kart game remastered day one, plus, I want to say, 4 cup tracks specifically for the game. An overhaul of the items. So including I want to say 10 new items as well.
Okay.
Don't do the in-game coin collection to unlock all of the car parts. That's just busy work. No one likes it.
I prefer it when the car unlocks its specific challenges instead.
Oh, it's Ryder.
I mean, yeah, that can work.
There's just one on a side now.
Multiple game modes. So you've got
Coming right down.
50, 100, 150, 200, and reverse. That's perfectly fine for race. But
Yeah.
then also add double dash mode. Because
Oh,
that's
right.
something fans have been asking for fucking ages.
Yeah. I've been asking for a Double Dash 2 for a long time.
I mean, it wouldn't necessarily be Double Dash 2, but it would just be a additional mode where it's basically all the rules and mechanics of Double Dash just as its own mode in the game.
So you're basically wanting Smash Ultimate for Mario Kart.
Yeah, honestly. And I don't know if this would particularly work, but maybe a track editor.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be interesting.
Didn't Mod Nation Racers do that?
Huh?
Didn't Mod Nation Racers on the PS3 do that?
I don't know. I do know that. I do know of, like, there are some racing games, like modern racing games, that do track editors. So maybe it could work, but.
I mean, if you use the track editor like the one in Thrillville, Fight Me, I Have a Point, that wasn't a terrible track editor, actually. It was pretty good. So use that generic background and track design. So you basically pick two and then start doing it. It gives you a budget, so you're not basically making a 5 kilometer long freaking track, like basically N64 Rainbow Road times 10. So basically make a sensible budget so people can't do that. Add little tools, so like you could put jumps in, like those mushroom things in that one from Wii, or you can have like the twisting road that splits into two, like in Bowser's Castle.
Oh yeah.
Like you could pick either water or lava hazards or just bottomless pits.
Yeah, it'd be interesting how much complexity that would have.
Loop-de-loops, underwater bits, like... It'd be cool.
Yeah, yeah.
It'd be limited in the gimmicky things.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
every other map's gonna have this one bit where you, like, jump off a massive thing and there's a massive gliding bit where you go past this cool feature that you crash into, you fall to the ground and then end up in 12th place. Like every other track's gonna have that. But there's also going to be a bunch of other things available to it, and not every track's going to have that one great curve. Like, someone's going to try and see, oh, how many of these things? Obviously, there's going to be troll tracks and so you can't stop that.
No.
Like, that's a inherent problem with a console map editor.
Yeah.
You can only do to the maximum of what the editor will entitle you to.
And I mean, people already make Mario Kart Wii custom tracks, so...
Exactly. Just give them a dedicated tool, Mario Maker style.
Yeah. And I mean, I think it's high time for another game to get a Mario Maker kind of game.
And an overhaul of the battle mode and some extra game modes in the battle mode. That is just desperate for it, like Christ.
What now?
Maybe look into what Crash did in its battle modes and take some inspiration from that. But yeah, back on topic though.
Yeah, I like how he's just not talking about Nitro Fueled at all.
Let's talk about Nitro Fuel. Well, we've actually talked quite a bit about Nitro Fuel.
True, but still.
Let's talk about how handsome LaRue is.
I mean, God, wouldn't you?
Oh my god. God. What the hell is this podcast?
You're welcome.
I mean,
Alright, so are we moving on then?
well, do you have anything else to say about Nitro Field, Scrappy, or?
I'm on a kind of break with it right now because I have to play non-stop just to get the Nitro and coins up.
Okay, yeah, it's one...
Blame Activision.
Yeah, that's one thing I will say
it's
about
blame
the game.
Activision.
About the game, it's like... whoever's fault it was probably Activision, but it's like...
It was Activision.
But it's like, I thought that the Grand Prix thing is cool in the fact that we get new maps and all that, but it's just gotten too exhausting for me to grind the stuff every time. So I've just dropped it for like half a year. But it's like,
Do the grinding on the week. Do your coin grinding on the weekend. Let me rephrase myself.
I mean, Flame's always open. Local gay bar.
Yeah, I assume that.
Never assume. Could have been the local straight bar.
oh man.
Only in Brighton would they have that specific definition.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, I appreciate the Grand Prix. What's the plural version of pre?
I don't know,
Preces?
to be fair, I always just called it pricks.
Yeah, I always say, I'm not alone. I always used to say Grand Prix as a kid.
It's also
I think it's
learned to
because it's
pronounce-
actually an Italian word, so I'm not sure if that's true or not, but I swear it's because it's an Italian word.
Probably.
Actually, yeah, I think I got my I think I learned the pronunciation of it from either Sonic Adventure 2 or Super Monkey Ball 2. Yeah, I'm old GameCube kid.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? So yeah, I appreciate the GPs because they give us tracks for free, and ostensibly you can get everything else for free. But yeah, there is definitely there's a grind, especially if you don't have online, to go get bodied. People from the UK.
Yeah.
So,
But-
what was that, Lewis?
Just, I do really enjoy it being opportunities to enjoy themselves, just unloading more content, digging through the barrels of Crash lore just to pull out so-and-so for another ride. I think that's it. I just enjoy Nitro Fuel. It's been one of the few new games I've actually been putting in significant time in because it is kind of a time sink by design. Grands Prix is a plural for Grand Prix. Thank you, Nova. Yeah, and I don't know, Yaya Panda's in a game again, so that's nice.
Pandemonium.
Yes, Pandemonium is here.
Yeah.
Alright, so Harry, you're up next.
Alright, let's see here. Let's go. Okay, let's go. Another quick one. Super Meat Boy is the game I played last year, and good almighty, it's a video game that exists.
Everyone has made every joke that can possibly be made about the name.
Yeah, because like, I knew that it was like super hard going into it, but it's just like nothing. I don't think anything can prepare you for how brutal the later parts of the game can be, especially if you go to the Dark World, and I basically just had to like bang my head against a brick wall trying to complete that game, and I don't regret doing it. It's like a massive achievement beating that game, but it's also just, good God, it's like it's definitely a massive challenge. And it's like, I do appreciate. It's one of those things where it's really quick and easy to just keep going, and if you're into that kind of game, then it's definitely something to recommend. And yeah, it's. I don't know if any of you guys have played it, but.
I haven't played it, but I know it was a major phenomenon when it came out.
Right. It's a very simple idea, very like bite-sized style levels and all that. And
Remaining Pokemon stock is 2-1.
there's not a lot of there's not like huge depths to it or anything, but
It's a classic arcade platformer with a story.
story like a very minor story, some cute cutscenes for like the start and end of every chapter and all that, and it's a good time if you're down with getting your butt kicked a lot. So
Mate, I
yeah.
play Tarkov.
yeah, it's
You spawn, you die.
I'm glad I played it. I probably won't play it again for a long time, even if I do. But yeah, it's a good time if you're into that kind of thing.
Oh, it's Dewdong. There's just
Yeah.
one Pokemon
Cool.
inside now.
Nova, you got anything else?
Coming right down to the wire. The combatants face each other.
Is Nova even alive?
Vigorous attack.
I think he's gonna use the text or
Then not much else.
okay, that's fine. Let's see what else he says first.
Except my mic being a total, I'm not gonna say that. If you want.
Oh, really? I get to read someone else's swears?
Okay, so Nova, are you fine moving back to Joey, or do you have anything else?
Well, other than saying that his microphone is a complete bitch-ass motherfucker. I'm not of the persuasion to say the alternative route of where that swear could have gone.
Yeah,
And banned.
yeah, boy. Okay.
So, back to me then?
Okay. Yeah. So yes, back to Joey then. Yeah.
The gym leader left after what kind of battle can we expect to see?
Oh no, he said he's playing WOL Spiritless,
Yep.
so I have no clue what that is.
Uh,
He
well-
masochist.
World of Light.
Fighting poses.
Ah, right. Why would you want to do that Spiritless? Jesus.
That sounds nightmare fuel.
Is-
Well, I'm sort of just going down the list one at a time from the order that I typed it in after redactions. So, Crackdown 3.
Okay.
What now?
But yeah, Crackdown 3, this game was garbage.
Goodness.
Oh, okay. I wasn't expecting that. All right.
Like, I kind of enjoyed Crackdown 2, but I refused to ever play it again after certain events that did actually happen, and I will not disclose on this stream, but... yeah, Crackdown 3, I got it free because it's on Game Pass, and everything that was said in the many years of E3 where it was hyped and said, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming, oh god, it's coming. Yeah, many of us wish it never came.
Oh, good.
Basically, I don't even know where to start. Like, the story, I never finished it because the game was fucking awful. So, the story from what I understand it is after Crackdown 2, the agency rebuilds itself up and is going around the world basically being paramilitary super soldier police officers. And you're going over this private city that does illegal shit, so you're gonna paradrop in with a bunch of other agents and wreck their shit. Except you don't, because they use their super advanced technology to just disintegrate all of you.
Huh. All right.
So
then.
before you've even started the game, you're already dead.
Wow.
Yeah. But wait, you're not, because you get brought back to life because someone goes through the wreckage of the crashed aircraft and finds your respawn token or some shit. I'm not even joking. And only has the power to bring you back and you alone. So then you get to pick between 3 of the agents, and around the game you collect up to like 20 of them, and you can play as them. They all have like different appearances and stats, but honestly, there's no point. Like, outside of if you find someone who can jump like really goddamn high, because you're a super soldier, so you're basically Superman and Iron Man mixed into one. Like, you're Superman in an Iron Man suit, basically.
Yeah.
And so the plot is you basically got to go through the city, take out all of these crime lord, evil people through basically just taking out his infrastructure all the way up until you take him out and you win the game, I assume. You can do it in any order you want for the most part, but at the end of the day, it's just boring. There's not really any content there to do, and the multiplayer is a completely separate client, which is just people jumping around with rocket launchers. Like, all the stuff they said about the city being completely destructible in real time with the cloud processing and it was bullshit. And that's all I can really say about that. I mean, it's a really forgettable game.
Yeah,
I
that
barely
sucks.
remember that I played it, honestly.
Yeah, that's a shame.
And one more thing. You'll go through somewhere, you'll think, wow, this is so easy, I'm kicking so much ass. You'll take one step in another direction and suddenly tanks, like tank-class assholes, rocket launchers, like freaking mutant rock monsters. It's like, why? Like, it's either stupidly easy because the AI just derps out, or you take one step into the next sector to the right and everyone's like, time to just, I don't know, do drugs and shit and become super powerful and wear power armor and I don't fucking know.
What'll it do?
I mean, most of the time I just drove around in an APC shooting civilians.
Nice.
So yeah, moving on to Scrappy again.
Yeah, so Scrappy now, his games have pretty much been used up, so now I think he's gonna just, you're just gonna randomly pick between our lists, right?
Or not.
Last year, that was fun.
Wait, what?
It was the first and probably last Let's Play I ever did.
What'll it do?
So, yeah, let me look at your lists.
Okay.
They strike fighting poses. What'll it do? Not beating an inch. They
Oh
strike
dear. Let's see.
fighting poses.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, sacrifice.
What'll it do?
Alright, Joey. Would you like to talk about...
They strike
Wait, Joey just
fighting
talked,
poses.
so...
Yeah.
Harry,
but
would you like to
most
talk
of
about...
Harry's list.
Yeah.
Talk about Jack 2, Harry.
Oh, okay.
Oh yes, let's talk about Jack too.
Okay, I'm very mixed on this one because I actually do like a lot of what they did with the story and like the world and everything. I think like bringing Jack into a more darker setting was a change that made the Jack series have more of an identity. And
At the time it happened, everyone hated the change and thought it was garbage, but liked Jack 3. But in hindsight, now everyone thinks Jack 2 was the masterpiece and Jack 3 was just the dull bollocks.
yeah, I've heard that a lot.
Played
Yeah.
Jack 2. It's done its own ways.
Yeah, there's a lot I don't like
I
about.
like both.
There's a lot I don't like about Jak 2. Like, it can get stupidly difficult at times. I really don't like the way the vehicle thing controls, but you know, taking it overall, I do think that the game's pretty good overall. Like, there's some moments in the story where I think you go through an area and you realize that it's meant to be, like, was it Samos's hut from the first game? And stuff like that I think is really cool for just world building. And like, I just really like what it did for Jak in terms of just lore and just general lore and story and all that. I like the fact that issue don't want to be spoiled for like an over decade-old game, then sorry, but I like the I like the bit where you go into the temple, and like the what are they called? The
Precursors?
Yeah, the precursors are just like, oh, the chosen one is too young, so like Jak goes through it instead, and then you realize later on that Jak is the chosen one, and that how was it? The young Jak went through a portal to the past, which is where the first game took place, and I don't know, I think it was a really well done story, and
they managed to get time travel done right.
Yeah.
Like, if you look at it just flat out on a map in 2 dimensions, it's a bit of a mindfuck, but if you look at it in all 3 dimensions, it actually works. And a lot of things, when they do time travel, they just completely shag it.
Yeah.
That's my word at the moment now. Everything's just getting completely and utterly shagged.
Yeah. I will say, like, I do enjoy how the platforming feels in Jak. He's a bit, like, his ground speed is a bit slow for my liking, but I do like that you have the long jumps and all that movement. And the gun upgrades that you get throughout the game are really fun to mess around with. I also have Jak 3 on here, so I won't talk too much about this now, but they improved the combat even further in the 3rd game, and yes, I will say I think I would probably rather play the first game over Jak 2 at like right now. That opinion might change in the future, but yeah, good time. Not too much else to say, but I think it did a lot right.
It did. It definitely did. There were parts of it that were just ridiculous, but yeah.
Yeah.
You should play Daxter.
Yeah, I heard Daxter's good.
Daxter's alright.
If you want something closer to the original game, yeah, Daxter's probably it.
Mm-hmm.
Daxter is definitely the missing link between the two.
Yeah.
Because it takes place in the 5 years that between well, yeah. No, it takes place in the 5 years that it says that the intro just get waved by.
Yeah,
when
yeah.
the eco experiments were occurring.
Oh, it's 2 years. Never mind. Oh, mice. What was I gonna say? Forgot. Yeah, I think I have nothing else to say about Jak 2 that I haven't repeated ad nauseum for like 7 years now. So should give it another go sometime, but
I probably should. I probably should as well, but it's like, yeah, it's a rough game, alright.
Rough.
What else is there? One thing I will say, it's a bit of a minor thing, I guess, but I do wish there was some form of a fast travel system, where you can warp to specific points of the map, because it did get a bit tiresome, like driving around around the world every time just to get to the next mission. And
I mean, I can see that considering the game's what. I'm going by casual and content maximum playthrough. I'd say what, 8 hours gameplay.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Extend that to like 10 with the extra driving.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
isn't particularly great either, so...
Well, no, that's why you drive in the low lane with a stolen Crimson Guard vehicle and
Well, I
just
mean-
kill all the pedestrians.
I'll get to free soon enough, but I think that game, even though it didn't,
3 is really good.
even though it doesn't,
IMO.
yeah, even though it doesn't have a fast travel system either, I think it does a lot to make it so.
The maps are smaller.
Yeah, well, there's that, and the fact that it does a lot to make it so it doesn't really need one, I think.
Mm.
But yeah, that's Jak 2.
Also, just before we end on that, I'm going to piss off a lot of people and say that Jak 1's the one that I don't like.
I mean, you're not the collectathon guy, so that makes sense.
I am the minority of the Jak fan base.
Yeah, a lot of people, yeah, Jak 1 seems to be the favored one.
Jak 1's cool and has really interesting environments and a pretty good story. But as a game, it needs a remaster.
I think the thing with Jak 1 is that it's a fine game and it's enjoyable, but when you compare it to other collectathons, it's just kind of by the numbers, I guess. There's not a lot that stands out about it.
The thing that stood out the most was the Seamless World, which was
Yeah.
kind of a revelation at the time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's still
Nine-
people trying to find out ways of getting that even more fine-tuned today.
What was I gonna say? Like, I wish, like, there's a part of me that just does wish Naughty Dog had gotten a second chance to kind of iron out Precursor Legacy in a traditional sequel
Yeah.
instead of going GTA for Jak 2.
Yeah, I can understand that.
It was the big thing and it helped sell.
I'm not even sure what the Jak games sales were like. Like,
Me
I have no
neither,
idea how they
man.
sold.
It got packaged.
Like, all of them sold at least 1 million. I know that, but
Right.
Jak and Daxter 1 got packaged.
I can imagine that it was probably one of the first big games on the PS2.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think based
The
off
Ratchet and Clank
Wikipedia, 'cause
trilogy is better though.
I still have
it's
yet to
still
play
better,
those.
I know that.
Play it after Jak 3.
The only Jak game I haven't played is Jak X.
You can skip X. X isn't important.
I mean, it's not, but I got the games off the PS4, which comes with the Trilogy NX, so...
Make sure to port your saves when you start X so you can have young, middle-aged, and old Jak. I'm
PS4
serious.
save bonuses.
Oh man.
I think you can also race as Daxter as well.
Nice.
Apparently, I'm trying to look.
Like, picking your character in that game makes absolutely no difference, but
It's just cosmetic.
yeah. But no
fair
two
enough.
Jaks, you know, because that rule.
Find good sales numbers, so that's for another time.
Yeah, we
Fair
can
enough.
look at the sales numbers later.
Well, that's fine.
Here's the first
Alright.
opponent of this gym
Okay,
So-
that goes back to me then, doesn't it? Because Scrappy technically did his turn.
No, I thought Scrappy was going to pick for both of us in sync.
No, he's only gonna do that when it's his turn.
Ah,
Okay, so
so it's gone you and you.
basically, yeah,
Okay, I'll get 2 turns next time then.
probably, yeah. Let's go with Team Sonic Racing.
Didn't we already do that?
No, we did.
No, we did Crash Team Racing.
Yeah. So I was.
Oh yeah.
So I'll say this. I really, I really like Team Sonic Racing. I would rather play Sonic Riders personally, but for what it's worth, I think like after like Sonic Forces, this is like a game we kind of needed for Sonic. It has a surprisingly difficult story mode, especially if you're a completionist. You're going to be spending a lot of time there, and I'm not even like halfway through that thing, but yeah, yeah, it's a good time. Like I like how much there is to strategize. Like you have to think about when's best to send your items to your teammates rather than use it for yourself. And like,
Yeah, I
don't
wouldn't
know.
expect a racing game like that to have a team strategy aspect.
yeah, it's like the way to win the game is like you have to like you need to like make sure your teammates are doing well, and the more things like the more team up stuff you do, the your meter goes up, which gives you like this. It gives you like this like super boost mode for like 20 seconds or so, where you just kind of plow through everyone.
Wow.
So like the quicker you can build that stuff up, the better. And
It leads to a more eventful climax.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's just the fact that it runs on the All Stars Racing Transformed engine, which was already a great game. I don't think it's as good as Transform personally, but for what it's worth, that style of engine for a racing game just really works, and just mixed in with the team aspects just makes the game really fun. I do kind of wish that it wasn't dropped so quickly though, because when the game came out, unlike Nitro Fuel, they just dropped the game immediately. There's been no extra courses or characters or anything. They just left it, which is a bit of a shame because the game would benefit from new content. But yeah, but whether or not it's I can go back and forth whether or not I prefer this or Nitro Fueled. There's things I like more in both. But
I prefer Nitro Fueled from what little I've played of Team Sonic.
yeah, that's fair. A lot of people do prefer Crash. In terms of content, Crash definitely has Sonic beat.
The thing is, we're actually making a comparison that no one else really makes, because honestly, the comparison that they wanted in development was the comparison between them and Nintendo Kart.
Yeah.
What'll it do?
You know, I think I feel like Team Sonic
I can
Race.
see that.
Yeah, I can see that too. But it's like I feel like Team Sonic Racing feels like the base or like the start of something grander, in the same way that the original All Stars Racing was like the building blocks for Transformed. Like if we get something similar with the team gimmick, and we get a sequel that's just like 10 times better, then we're probably going to be in for something really great in the future. But I guess time will tell. But yeah, TSR on its own is a great game. There's a lot to do for just again, similar to CTR. There's a lot to do if you just want to play single player, and it's definitely gonna keep you busy if you want to go for 100%. So, yeah, my only real complaints with it is that there aren't that many courses compared to a lot of racing games that are out nowadays, and if they had like DLC that added more tracks and characters and whatnot, then I think the game would get a lot more replayability and people coming back to it. But you know, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still not playable, is she?
Who?
What?
Wait, what'd you say?
Scrappy. Who's not playable?
Cream? She's not playable
Oh,
yet, is
Cream.
she?
Oh, Cream, no. But that's the weirdest thing. They replaced Cream with, like, random Chow.
Need a strong effort to win.
It's really weird.
Why?
I don't know.
Why is the roster of that game so small to begin with?
Yeah, I don't know. It's really weird.
Vigorous attack. Whoa, looks like a bad
That's pretty much what I have to say, though.
Mm-hmm.
It's more resistance.
Alright, so,
The intense
what
battle
game am I
continues.
going to pick this time? World War Z. Why not?
Okay.
World War Z, based off that kinda trash zombie movie with those really good special effects.
Hmm,
So this is a game of the movie that was based off the book,
nice.
but not the armor mod that is very loosely based off the book. Something completely different. Alright, so, World War Z, okay. It's like Left 4 Dead in third person with some expansions and longer levels.
Okay.
They go into battle post.
And if you remember that thing that was always advertised on television when they were talking about the movie of all of those zombies just climbing over each other and just flooding through frickin' streets like they're water, it's like, yeah, that happens in the game. It's horrifying.
Oh god.
And yes, you can kill every single one of them if you've got enough ammo and explosives. Because what the most amazing thing about that game is not the fact that these effects occur, it's the fact that you can kill the effects, but you have to kill them one zombie at a time because every zombie is still an entity.
Hmm.
What a furious
Like, if that zombie wasn't there, it would just be acting like a regular zombie outside of the event.
combatants face.
Yeah.
But what it did was it basically walked over to the event to become a part of it, and then just started clambering on top of zombie after zombie after zombie to try and get to the top, basically being the fifth rung in the ladder.
Hmm.
And you just want to throw grenades at them and just mow them down any way you can. Because they will get you, and it is the epitome of the horror of zombies. Like, originally, the reason zombies were so scary is like, one zombie, who gives a shit? Just keep your distance, lop its head off, not a problem, job done. 5,000 zombies completely surrounded, having your flesh literally ripped from you, from
God.
every part of you, and just that's the fear, that's the horror aspect of zombies that everyone forgets. One slow shambling motherfucker, everyone's like, yeah, I can take that git. It's when there's thousands of them.
Neither one is
Yeah.
completing an inch.
That's when you're fucked. You've got one clip of 30 rounds and a semi-weapon. Shoot yourself before they get close enough.
There, it's a
You will
hit.
never survive the situation, and that thing that happens in every movie where army or mates just roll up in their freaking armored vehicle and save your life at the last minute just as they're about to grab you. It never happens.
Mm.
Wow,
And that's why this game is kind of awesome.
down.
If you ignore the microtransactions and some other weird design ideas.
Oh man.
But yeah, it's basically third-person Left 4 Dead in the Z universe. And
Oh,
honestly, that franchise has quite a lot going for it.
I recommend it. It's on Game Pass.
Okay, fair enough. Sounds like an interesting one.
It's definitely worth playing at least once.
Hmm.
You'll never pass the first campaign your first try though. Also, it takes you across the world. All right. Well, Scrappy's turn to pick another game.
Yep.
Let's see. Hey, Joey. Let's knock out Call of Duty.
Okay.
Alright, which one? Because I've got COD Mobile and I've got Modern Warfare.
Modern Warfare. Let's rip that band-aid off.
Yeah.
Alright. This game, let's start with the campaign. Amazing. Like, an utter 180 from the decline and stagnation of Call of Duty over the last several years. Like, you can legitimately go to someone and say, I bought Call of Duty in 2019 for the story, and they will not laugh at you. You say you did it in 2018, they'd be like, what story? Because there wasn't one, because they completely removed the campaign, and everyone bitched like holy fuck, because it was all corporate decisions, and they basically replaced it with a half-assed battle royale mode that doesn't work because Call of Duty servers are awful.
Nice.
And they're still awful, but oof.
Yeah.
But yeah, the campaign, I'm not going to spoil it because it's brilliant and you need to experience it for yourself. Even if you decide to opt out of the torture method, because it's a Call of Duty game, there's usually a bit where someone gets tortured. I mean, in Black Ops 1, you're in China and you're basically putting a bullet in someone's mouth and punching them until they swallow the bullet.
Oof.
Like, that only lasts for like 15 seconds, but Jesus.
I love video games.
I love video games, they tell all the stories. Seriously, if you want to see torture, play video games.
Yeah, right?
You don't get that shit from movies.
No.
But that is why I will sing the praises of 1917, because damn, that was a movie. No, it didn't have torture in it. The characters got tortured, but it wasn't by being tortured. It's like in a story, it's like, this is Joe, he's so happy and loving life, and here comes the baseball bat from the arsehole who doesn't like him in school because how dare he have an Xbox and the arsehole not be able to afford one. That is not a good analogy for anything in life. But I hope it helps. Anyway, Call of Duty. Alright, so moving on to the multiplayer.
Yep.
Now, the multiplayer was amazing. No, it still is amazing. Like, the game itself is really good. Like, proper solid, everything you expect from a Call of Duty. Because there was a shotgun that if you modded it just right, it was a sniper rifle. Like, you do not want sniper buckshot. It's not okay. Like, a lot of new content's been added recently, but they also added, like, a battle pass and microtransactions. I stopped playing the game after they did that. Partly because of personal reasons, partly because of I just couldn't be asked to deal with it. It was also really intrusive because at the end of every single match it would throw you onto the store page. I've played the game once since then, like a couple days ago, and it has stopped doing that, thank fuck, but...
What'll it do?
And because it's Call of Duty, you mute the community just in case they do have a microphone, because they are just an Xbox 9-year-old who still has their Kinect plugged in from when the Xbox originally launched and everyone had to have one.
Yeah.
And they don't understand why I'm screaming at them at the top of my lungs.
God.
Yeah, it's because I don't care what you're cooking Timmy for breakfast tomorrow. I want you to either fuck off or turn the mic off so I can get on with killing you.
Nice.
But yeah, they brought back all the major game modes. They added in infection because everything has infection now. That is not Call of Duty Zombies. That is something completely different, and it is not in this game. And also the gunsmith is amazing. Not as good as Tarkov's, but Tarkov is super in depth with it. Like, wow, like, customizing your weapons in the new Call of Duty is just absolutely amazing.
Nice.
If your gun isn't performing how you want it to, just bear through it long enough to level it up to the point where you can get the improvement that fixes it into the way that you like. If your gun has too much recoil for you to handle, put on a compensator and get some grips specifically. That'll probably fix your problem.
Okay.
If you don't like the iron sight, just tough through it for a little bit so you can unlock the first red dot sight. Not a problem. Most of the assault rifles have grenade launchers, but it's different this time. It's not just shoot a frag grenade at them. You can also get incendiary grenades, you can get smoke grenades, and you also have the ability to fire out locator grenades, which are like these cameras on drones that like shoot up into the air, spin around, that take pictures of everything, and you can literally see people through walls for like half a second. At which point you then just kick the door in and just start shooting. So anyway, I started blasting. And on to the worst part of the game, the operations. Everyone was super hyped for the operations, and PlayStation got a bit of content that no one else is getting until release time this year.
Okay.
When the game will be inevitably dead and the new Call of Duty, which I can guarantee we're going to see at E3, gets released. So there's that. Also, the game mode itself, you're going to be with a bunch of idiots that don't want to know what they're fucking doing if you don't have a squad. And you're basically going to have to try and figure everything out for yourself and not die to the ridiculous onslaught of never-ending fuck this heading directly in your face with every weapon imaginable. And that's before the arseholes and super heavy armor miniguns come up. Bullet sponge. End of story.
Oh,
They
man.
take rockets like champions.
Huh.
And then there's also the helicopters, there's the tanks, and then there's... It's the game mode is an absolute nightmare, and I'm amazed that I've even passed the first one. It needs to be... There needs to be a difficulty setting, because it feels like you're playing on veteran mode. It's absolutely ridiculous. And I know that's a pretty sour note to leave it, but I do genuinely recommend the new Call of Duty game, because it is great fun, and there's also this new map that got released, I think it's called Containers or Shipment or something, and basically it's 5 foot by 5 foot square, where life lasts about 3 seconds. And it's amazing. And you basically walk forward, you shoot everything in sight, because 90% of that is going to be enemies. You die horribly, and you've already got a 20 kill streak per life in 3 seconds because of how tight the map is.
Nice.
It's honestly amazing.
Good.
But yeah, no one really has anything to say about Call of Duty, and there is a second Call of Duty coming up, because there were 2 Call of Duties last year that I played. and came out. So back on to Harry.
Alright, so let's get this one out of the way now. So Jak 3. Jak 3 is basically just... It did a lot of what Jak 2 did, but better in my opinion. I think it's a lot easier to just get around. Like they
Oh
shrunk.
shit, you didn't have Jak 3 on your list.
I don't know. I should have it on there.
Nope. You only had Jak 2.
Well, I didn't update this thing in a while then, but I did beat Jak 3 last year, and yeah, it was a great time. I don't know if I would rank it above the first game, but it's definitely above Jak 2 by quite a mile actually. I thought the general level design and platforming and ideas I found to be a lot more enjoyable in Jak 3. The upgrades, I thought the way the game gave you the guns and the upgrades and all that were at a really good pace, especially compared to Jak 2, where it felt like you were constantly growing and you were like constantly getting like new mods, new vehicles, new guns.
Even if they didn't actually do anything, we never ever used them.
Yeah, and again, it just felt like you were constantly growing, and it was, yeah, just a lot of fun. And I thought the platforming in general was a lot more varied than Jak 2, and I've heard a lot of...
It's definitely very enjoyable, especially after, what, I think it's like the middle of the game where you get the dark power that freezes time,
Yeah.
and using that in combat is just amazing. That mixed with the Redeemer.
Yeah, and it's
The
like...
short time as you get to use that.
And I mean... I would say, I don't think... Jak 3 is definitely a lot easier than Jak 2, but I wouldn't say that it's necessarily an easy game. I would say... The thing about Jak 3 that I like, I would say that it's difficult, but it never becomes bullcrap hard like Jak 2 does. So for me, it's always a comfortable, challenge that knows to respect your general just ability. And
They learned their lessons from Jak 2, but
Yeah.
unfortunately they didn't have
What now? That's the weak spot.
they won't know.
Oh, you cut out. I couldn't hear you.
Yeah, I couldn't hear either.
What's that?
everything died.
The move failed.
Yeah, you said something about like they learned their lesson from Jak 2 or something.
Alright, everything died. Cool. Okay, so what I said was they learnt their lessons from Jak 2 in that numbers, like the number of enemies doesn't equal challenge, it just makes things ridiculous,
Yeah.
redundant and impossible. But at the same time, despite all the lessons they learned from Jak 2, they didn't have the ability to translate that into Jak 3 from the low development time. And I think I need to restart the stream.
Oh, do you?
Oh, is it down and out?
Give it 10 seconds.
There's only
Okay.
one Pokemon left in reserve.
And
Oh, it's Tangela. The remaining Pokemon stock is 2-1. The 10th battle will continue. Combatants
should be live in a second.
What's that?
Are we gonna have to mix these together in one video, or?
What's this?
I don't know how much longer we're gonna go because it's getting late.
I mean, I've got a shit ton. I mean, I can rapid fire my games if you want to rapid fire yours.
They go into
I mean, I don't have too many major things left.
I mean, we're back live now, so there was a
Okay.
minor technical issue with my internet being garbage.
Well, were you talking about Jack? What was I saying?
Basically, I was saying that they learnt a lot of lessons from Jak 2 that they couldn't fully utilize in the development of Jak 3 due to the short development time given.
Yeah.
Both Pokemon
That's
appear
fair.
equally fit.
Is you gonna? I'm gonna.
I say you just rapid fire through the rest of your list because mine's longer. So
Alright then. I'll say with. Oh wait.
What a
One
furious
thing.
battle.
One other thing I'll say about Jak 3 that
They go in
I'm positive not a lot of people would agree with me with this. From what I can understand, but I actually really I enjoyed the story of Jak 3 a lot more than 2 personally.
same.
I felt like there was constantly something going on. Like Jak 2 to me felt like a lot of back and forth until it started getting like more serious, or like more things were starting to happen. Whereas Jak 3, it always felt that there was something going on. You're always building up to something. Like with the desert area, you were building up going back to the city, and then after that, you have to work on like bringing the city back to its prime and all that, dealing with all of that, and then you have all the stuff like with the other characters, and I don't know, that mixed in with the really well-paced upgrading system and the well done core, just general gameplay. Jak 3 is just a really well-rounded game, and it's.
It really is. I just think people thought it wasn't enough.
It's definitely not perfect, but.
Oh no, but no game is. If you claim the game is perfect, look back at it in 10 years.
Yeah, I will say.
And if it's still considered perfect, then the game industry is completely and utterly collapsed and everything's failed and we're truly living in the darkest timeline.
I mean, one thing I will say, I guess, is that the vehicle phase of the final boss is. I don't know if it was just me, but that felt very janky to me. Like trying to hit all the spots on the giant walker. I wasn't that big of a fan of that, but
Yeah, I always thought that was pretty easy, so.
maybe I did it wrong, but it's like it just felt really awkward to me. But if
I mean,
that's
personally, I found the chase through the catacombs harder.
yeah, that's interesting because I thought that one was pretty easy. So I don't know.
You played a lot more Run than I did when you were in high school.
Maybe. But you know, if that's like the worst like Jak 3 can get, whereas like Jak 2 annoyed me on several occasions, then I'd say that's pretty good.
Fair.
Yeah, that's Jak 3 though. Jak Trilogy is pretty. It's pretty good overall. I wouldn't call them like favorite games or anything, but I'm glad I took the time to play them. So so what are we doing now? Is Joey again, or?
I mean, yeah, go through me. I'll rapid fire through the rest of mine, and then you can rapid fire through yours because it's free, and that'll probably take still another hour. So.
Okay, hey, Joey, you want to talk about Slay the Spire?
Ooh, Slay the Spire. Alright, so Slay the Spire is a roguelike dungeon crawler card game.
Okay.
Yes, it's amazing. Right. It's also on Game Pass. I recommend you play it instead of paying the £8 for it on Steam. Alright, so you pick one of 3 characters, which is basically robot rogue, or wait, what? Warrior, rogue, or mage. The robot is basically a mage.
Combatants face each other.
So
Here's a Pokemon.
Warrior basically gets lots of attack spells and defensive spells. He's your beginner character. The assassin is lots of damage over time. Like, one attack's not going to do a lot of damage, but it is going to poison them, and then every turn for that they've got poison, they're going to take more damage than the initial attack every turn until it wears off, give or take. And then you got the mage, where it's basically just stack up your orbs so you can just hit them with 8 lightning spells at once.
Easy victory should be within reach.
3 damage, give or take, whatever. And then, so you have your turn where you burn off your cards as the mage, and then at the end of it, all of your orbs activate.
Right.
And if you're playing like a lightning build, then it's just going to slam them with so much lightning that if they manage to survive on the first wave of cards, they're not surviving all of that. Anyway, so how it works is basically you climb up this tower on a map screen and basically decide where you want to go. Basically forward, left, right are your options. And you fight through these monsters, and you've got to kill so many monsters and bosses so many monsters and mini bosses so that you can actually win the game after you finish the first floor of the dungeon, because it's only 3 floors. But good luck climbing through it. It's not easy, and the bosses are hardcore.
Dang.
Like, multi-phase nightmare view.
Heh.
Like, some of the bosses, you have to stun them by hitting them with enough damage between their combat phases so that they can't hit you with one-hit kill spells. It's insane. There's also these shops where you can spend your gold. There's like a lot of the mini bosses are really cool, and then there's random spots where it can be a shop, a fight, a resting point, which is where you recover all your health and you can do some other things. But you can only recover your health or do some of the other things. You can't do both. So choose wisely, and you don't recover all of it. You only recover like 75% of it or something like that.
Pokemon is being pressed.
You recover a percentage of your health, but it's always the flat number, so you can still max out your health without trying to get 75% of one and then having it wrap up.
Between 2 different types of Pokemon.
So it's still a good mechanic. And that's all I can really say about that. It's a really short game. And because I'm rapid firing through them all, Scrappy, list them off in the order you want me to do them.
There, it's a hit.
Assuming he's alive.
Oh, it's
Is he alive?
down.
Hello?
What
I
will
think
the
he's dead.
next
Alright.
Pokemon be?
Is he?
Yeah, he is. Alright, Harry Potter Wizards Unite. That is going to be really short because it's basically... so, Niantic made Pokemon Go.
Right.
In 2019, they made Wizards Unite.
Oh, okay.
It works on the same servers, but it's a little bit of a different game, and you got to cast your spells, and you get rings. You got to collect, like, all of the magical artifacts have escaped from the Wizarding world, and they're infecting our world in the modern day, and we have to capture them and archive them and send them back with our magics.
Magic.
Yes, and that's basically all I need to say about that. It's Pokemon Go with magic.
Nice.
Age of Wonders, Planetfall. Alright, so if you've ever heard of Age of Wonders, it's this... It's a 4X game, and
Oh my god, I really don't actually have enough time to Spitfire this one. I didn't think I'd have to. Alright, so it's a 4x hex-based game with a really good battle system.
They strike fighting poses.
That's all I'm gonna have time to say. If I go any deeper, it's just gonna rabbit hole, and also a lot of it's gonna be coming and harring because I haven't played it in ages.
Fair enough.
So, Sword Art Online, Fatal Bullet.
Oh god. I mean, I've heard this game's good at least, but you know.
It is. It's also on Game Pass for free,
Face each other.
I think. It might have been a game for gold. I don't remember.
Yeah, there we go.
Alright, so Sword Art Online, kinda garbage.
Yeah.
The games, however, are renowned as really good games. Like, imagine playing a MMORPG, but it's actually just an RPG.
Yeah. I actually own was Sword Art Online versus Axel World on the PS4. I haven't played it
This
yet.
is the
but...
sequel.
Hmm.
All of the games that are actually sequelized.
Oh, huh.
So this is actually a continuation off of that game.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Battle continues.
And it's really good. Like, I like the gunplay, but if you have to have a sword, then after a little while you can go and grab a sword. And you can also wield a sword and a gun at the same time, but you can't dual wield swords. You're not Kirito.
Yeah, it's a hit.
The story's actually really good as well, but it's also in Japanese because, you know, they didn't dub it.
Yeah.
Alright,
And that
Spyro
game's game
Reignited.
dubbed is a rarity these days.
Yeah.
Alright, so Scrappy, basically I'm just running through all of my list so we can speed this up quite a bit.
You guys can go to sleep.
Yay! Hopefully. It's 3 AM.
Yeah. Woo.
Yeah, please, by all means, because it's late there.
Yeah. Alright, so Spyro Reignited Trilogy. It's Spyro, but with better controls and... God, it looks sexy!
Oh yeah. You don't say. I'm gonna be honest. Even though I prefer the Crash trilogy like as games, I think that the Spyro trilogy got better remakes. I'd say. Like.
At least in the graphics department.
Oh yeah.
God.
It
Also,
looks
it's
so
very big
good.
for days. They
Yeah.
redesigned some of the like Toys for Bob is just filled with furries.
Yeah. I love the stuff they did with Spyro.
I mean, they have a freaking deer girl and a fucking rabbit girl. Like,
They were working with what they had, what Insomniac gave them, and like I said,
Oh, they
in
were
the stream,
working with it.
like
Oh my god.
what I moving on. What I said in a stream in 2018 where Harry's famous line came
Oh
from.
god. Why?
Yeah, Bianca's redesign, which is probably one of the more conservative redesigns, to be frank, is actually really nice. I like it.
Yeah, I do like Alora's design, redesign.
do you?
Oh my god. I can like it without being creepy, okay?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, we got
doesn't stop me
Spyro
from making
characters in Crash Team Racing.
Wait, what?
Spyro characters in Crash Team Racing.
Oh yeah, that's
Shut
right.
up and take my money.
Yeah, boy.
Shut up and take my money.
Yeah,
Alright,
they-
so basically we're just glossing over Reignite by saying it's the original Spyro trilogy redone really well. Some of the mini games were changed a little bit to bring them up to time and actually make it some of them even playable in the first place.
yeah, Bentley boxing.
God, the graphics are sexy. I mean, look at that tree. I'm not even looking at the furries. I mean, look at that tree.
Oh my god.
Like, have you seen Spyro breathe fire? Like,
Oh my god.
Is Nova still here? Yeah, he's still.
He's still here, yeah.
God.
Alright,
But,
moving on from that.
No,
fucking
well, I mean,
Dorito.
like, yeah. Like, God, they've updated the games really well.
They really did.
Like,
They did an amazing job on those remasters. I want
Yeah.
to see the Ratchet and Clank remasters,
'Cause
not
it's-
the Ratchet and Clank reboot that is just HD fire makes Joe moist.
nice. For the sake, oh god, I think the thing with the Crash trilogy is that they're great updates, but there's also a caveat to that, where it's like, do you want to play with the original controls or the new controls? Whereas like with Reignited, there's really like no side effects I can think of. It's basically the Reignited is basically just an overall better package than the original. Like besides like
I mean, there is anime eye syndrome that you get from looking at all those sparkles.
true, but like besides like minor complaints I can think of, like it's a little bit awkward. It's a little bit awkward turning when you boost in the flight stages. But besides that, it's pretty much just they're pretty much just better games across the board. So
Scrappy, you got anything to say before I move on?
I played the Reignited trilogy, but it looked fun.
yeah,
Still probably gives me motion sickness, but it looks fun.
My brother actually did a full playthrough of it on his Twitch account. Unfortunately, he doesn't understand the concept of archiving.
I
yeah,
got you have a brother?
good.
Brother!
Brother.
Yeah, I've got a brother-in-law as well.
Yeah, but yeah, it's good.
I've got 3.
It's gonna be Reignited's fun time.
Yeah, alright, moving on to Gears 5. Gears of War 5 was too short. It was a really fun game, and the adventure aspect of it was great. Like, you go off the beaten path to look down one area, and then you find like this legendary freaking bolt shot that does that can fire twice before reloading, which is a big deal in Gears of War because the bolt shot only fires once, but you wouldn't know that because none of you play it, and I'm basically just rambling at this point. But yeah, it's a really good-looking game. The story was alright. I sort of lost the plot at one point. It's Myra's daughter. Spoilers. But, yeah, I enjoyed what I played of it. Also, with the multiplayer, I mean, Gears of War multiplayer was never my thing, I never enjoyed it. I mean, with cover-based shooting mechanics like that, it's basically, there's 2 types of people. There's the people that hide in the cover and shoot you from afar, and then there's the arsehole with the chainsaw that just rips you a new one because you're hiding in cover, you fucking pussy. And then there's Horde mode, but that's very different now. And then there is this new mode where you have to, which is also linked to a level developer, which is pretty fun. Me and my brother-in-law played through that.
Okay.
And we made our own levels. And he thought he made a ridiculously impossible level. I beat it. He couldn't beat mine. I couldn't beat mine.
Nice.
I didn't put in enough ammo and guns. So basically the plot of that is basically rush through this area, kill everything, and escape alive.
Escape.
Live.
Escape.
No objective, survive.
Escape.
And then of course there's the Halo references with characters and shit. This loot boxes fest again though. Unfortunately, the game has no replayability as far as I'm concerned. I play it on the hardest difficulty in the first run. Which is what I also say about Halo 4 and 5, just legendary those. Like, yeah, it's going to be a massive, horrible slog to get through it, but you don't want to play through it once on easy to actually enjoy the game, because there's no enjoyment to be found in the game, and then once on legendary because you can't get the achievements. Just legendary, it's going to be horrible, it's going to be awful, you're going to want to kill yourself, you're going to want to do that on easy mode anyway, it's awful. Anyway, that's Halo. Gears of War 5 is actually enjoyable despite having limited replayability.
How will the type difference affect
That's done. Call of Duty Mobile. Basically, I haven't played this in a long ass time, and it's updated a lot. There's a zombies mode and a battle royale mode now, from what I understand. But Call of Duty Mobile is actually a really good mobile game. Like, it's first-person shoot. It's Call of Duty on the phone. It's I want to say it's basically Black Ops 2 on the go, and I can't help but sing its praises. They knocked it out of the park twice this year. Just don't click on too many buttons or you'll end up spending money because it's filled with microtransactions. Again, thanks Activision, you greedy cunts.
Neither one is conceding an inch.
And finishing off on the Outer Worlds. The Outer Worlds was actually an overhyped disappointment as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, that sucks.
I honestly prefer Fallout 4. We don't talk about Fallout 76 though.
Oh god.
Like that was just hot garbage.
Mm.
Wow. But yeah, the Outer Worlds, like, from what I see is like, yeah, there's a story there, but honestly, you can beat the game by just WM1. Just kill everyone, take the keys, and then fuck off in your spaceship. Like, you're not gonna get the good ending. God no, but why do you give a shit about these people? Their lives are nothing with the corporations, and they can't survive without them because they have a symbiotic dependency on their indentured servitude. So you're doing them a favor by putting a bullet in their head, but it's also evil because they did nothing wrong.
Yeah. Jeez.
It's morality taken to the extreme, where you don't actually care what happens to anyone, but at the same time, don't be a dick, because being a dick makes you a dick.
Yeah. Oh god.
But at the same time, sometimes it's like, I just want to shoot this person because they have a space code that allows me to get to a planet that I don't have a warp route to, and they're asking me to pay stupid amounts of money, and I just can't be asked to do these side quests. Not to lie though, half the fun in the game is actually the side quests. The side quests are actually more fun than the main story. But yeah, that's I didn't finish the Outer Worlds. I burnt out on it really quickly. I got to like the 4th world in the game. The game's really short as well, so
Fair enough.
you can beat it in 2 hours if you knew what you were doing. It's maybe 12 hours completely on a first run trying to 100% it. 2 hours on a speed run by an amateur. A speedrunner's probably got the world record of 15 minutes somehow.
Yeah.
But that's speedrunning. You clip through the bottom of planet A and you end up in this freaking ending credits on.
I mean, most of Doom 2016 speedruns is just clip through the wall, pretty much.
Anyway, because no one really has anything to say on most of my list, because I have specific tastes that no one else particularly share. Let's through your list, Harry.
Alright, let's see here.
All the PUs are done, Meat Boy's done, Jak 2 and 3 are done.
There's not much left,
And
really.
Nitro Fueled is done.
I guess, a Project Diva, because, I don't know what it was, but I just had a random urge to try out this game, because it's a series that I know Nick is very fond of, and it's just like, I've heard the second game is considered the best by a lot of people, so I thought why not check it out. I didn't play it until like a year later, which was last year, and yeah, it's a very simple game that's just really hard to put down. I've grown more and more fond of rhythm games over the years, and this would, I think out of all the rhythm games I played, this is definitely up there as one of my favorites, if not my favorite. It's just a very simple kind of setup with how the game works.
If you want a good rhythm game for the PC, look into Osu. You've probably heard of it before.
Yeah, I know.
It's really good.
I've heard about Osu.
You should look into playing it sometime.
Yeah. But yeah, Project Diva's or like F2nd, specifically is a lot of fun. There's obviously it's gonna be a little bit of a learning curve at first, but it doesn't take that long to get used to it. And it's like trying to like best the tracks on like experts and all that. It's a lot of fun. It's very fast paced, and you have to be quick on your reflexes and whatnot. And it's a good time. Another thing that I like is that in the loading screens, this is like one of the few games I can think of where I actually enjoy seeing the loading screens, because it's a lot of just really well done fan art of the characters, in a lot of just cool styles, and just seeing all that good, just seeing a lot of good art throughout your play sessions is just something that just adds to the experience, I find, and just having that.
An inexplicable romantic connection to Hatsune Miku doesn't hurt.
I mean,
we all have it. Just don't doubt it.
I mean,
we
if you
all feel
want,
that connection.
I mean, if you want to go there, then yeah, like a lot of the art is appealing in that way too. But yeah, it's just a good time overall. There's a lot of stuff I haven't actually tried in the game yet. Like I know there's like for lack of a better term, you can basically play dress up with the characters, which I haven't really dabbled in that much. And there's a lot of side content that I haven't really done, but
dress up and side content, eh?
Yeah.
Sounds like a good night in.
Yeah, boy. But just
To be fair, Azzy would actually be up for that.
Probably. but no, just take it as a rhythm game. It's a lot of fun, and I know that I think it's a Switch that's getting Mega Mix, which is basically just gonna have like 100 or so songs from games throughout the series. So that's definitely gonna top this one just by nature of what it is. But you know, it's a fun game, and I'm looking forward to when Mega Mix comes out in the future. So you know, it's good times.
Oh, just as a quick sidetrack, I'm personally looking forward to any game that I am actually looking forward to that allows for character customization. For example, Pimp My Cyberpunk character, or Pimp My Demon.
Nice. Okay, so I'm gonna
Pimp My House. If I ever get, I might actually get it.
So I'm actually trying to look. I'm actually gonna skip out on talking about Celeste and Final Fantasy V because I haven't actually beaten either of those, and I'd prefer to talk about them when I've played more of them. So I'll ignore those for now. Let's see. I only really have Mega Man 4 and Kingdom Hearts 3 left in the grand scheme of things.
So I assume you're skipping Donkey Kong.
I'm not talking about that because it's I don't think it really makes sense to talk about a port. So, because I played Tropical Freeze.
Ah, you didn't add it through your list like I did, right?
Yeah.
I had freaking Saints Row 3 on my list.
Okay, so I'll be as quick as I can. Mega Man 4. I did play a lot of the other Mega Man games, but I'm not gonna go through all of them because that'll take too long. But 4 specifically it's a contender for my favorite classic Mega Man game. It's pretty much just what I'm looking for. It has a good sense of challenge. Compared to some of the other games, I don't really recall a lot of bullcrap moments in it. The Robot Masters were fun to fight in that one, and I think it's just a generally just really solid Mega Man game overall. There's not a lot wrong I can think of off the top of my head, and if I were to replay any of the classic games right now, that would probably be the first one I'd consider going back to. And you know, I think it's a really solid game in the series. That's basically all I need to say about it. Kingdom Hearts 3. This is gonna be hard to summarize.
Watch your Let's Play.
Yeah, I mean, watch the Let's Play that's gonna happen in like the next month or two, I guess.
Considering Seaspring scheduling.
Yeah,
Still salty.
yeah. But if I can just be, I guess, as quick as I can with it, Kingdom Hearts 3 is, I would say, has probably become my second favorite game in the series, like right after 2. What is it? It's the worlds are a lot more expansive and fun to explore than really they've ever been. There's the caveat to that is that there aren't as many worlds as 2 especially, but I think the big size makes up for it. It's fun just like exploring, seeing what you can find with like chests and the we gotta find the lucky emblems.
Oh yeah, we've got to find all the Trinity marks. Oh yes,
Yes.
we've got to find Donald's brain so he stops casting heal on Satan.
Yeah, but no, it's fun. They brought back a lot of exploration, a lot of the exploration that was sorely missing from a lot of the games.
Honestly, there was a massive drop between Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2 in the exploration.
Yeah, and I think in terms of just exploration, just exploring the world's period, Free's the best in that regard by a long shot. And just seeing what you can find is just a lot of fun. The Arendelle is HD Snowland, so I mean that's great by default. Even though the world itself is the weakest by a lot of people, just in terms of just graphical fidelity, like this game's like amazing. 'Cause just look, I'm such a kid when I realized that I'm geeking out at the sounds, the sounds the snow makes by just running around it and just seeing all the footprints you make. Like that small stuff just makes me really giddy.
I like snow.
Yes, couldn't you tell?
I mean, I've always liked snow IRL and in Metal Gear Solid 1.
Yeah.
That had good snow.
The next battle is versus Pokemon.
That
Yeah.
had polygons.
And the master of Pokemon.
But yeah, in terms of like just other things about the game, the combat's really good. I don't think it's. I wouldn't say it's around. I wouldn't say it's Kingdom Hearts 2 levels of good, but it's definitely getting there, especially after the Remind DLC. The current team, like people call them the Osaka team because that's where the team's based. They've definitely improved a lot over the years because the first games were like Birth by Sleep and like Dream Drop Distance and all that, which had a lot of balance issues with like the combat, which it was very breakable with enemies that weren't really designed the greatest sometimes, and that they've like made a complete 180 with 3. Like they've definitely learned a lot. The enemy design is a lot better designed. The bosses are just better designed overall, and it's just a massive upgrade in every way imaginable, really. The form changes are fun in the sense that you get to play with new combos with each one of them.
Wombo combo!
Yeah. And the fact that you can switch between 3 Keyblades at while you're in game makes it so you can switch between 3 different forms on the fly, which is a lot of fun. And
Well, you see, he learnt a lot from the Lion King world.
that he did.
He also read the One Piece manga.
Yeah, there's that. What?
Prove me wrong, Disney.
I'm trying to think. I don't want to go too deep into this because otherwise just drag out for way too long. But
It
I
already has.
yeah, but like I really did enjoy the story in 3. It's not. It has issues, and I'll admit that. But
So do I.
yeah, but for what it's worth, especially after Remind, I'm satisfied with where the series is, and I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to where the future of the series goes more so than I've been pretty much ever, honestly. And yeah, it's a good game. I like it. I could go on, but I don't wanna drag this out.
I think all you've got left on your list is Tetris.
Oh right, I forgot about that. It's Tetris.
It's Tetris Battle Royale.
Yeah, boy.
Kill 98 other people with Tetris.
Yeah. Is
No,
she like?
seriously, I actually die seriously. So it was a really big issue.
You know, Tetris 99 is a good time.
I really want to play it, but I need to get Nintendo Online
Mhm.
and my Switch off of my missus.
Yeah. But that's pretty much all I have to say, honestly.
Alright, cool. Well,
Yeah.
Thank you for watching Brain Block. Scrappy, anything to say for ending comments?
2019 was the best game. Excuse me, what was I gonna say? The best year for games that I never played.
Yeah.
honestly, there were a lot of big AAA games in 2019 that nobody gave a shit about. I mean, I played like most of the mainstream games that came out that year, and honestly, it wasn't a good year for gaming. There was Call of Duty, and that was about it. Of actually good games that released.
I don't even remember
of
what
course,
came out this
discounted
year.
a lot of Nintendo stuff, and then there was Kingdom Hearts 3, and that was a big deal.
Yeah, yeah.
Harry,
Yeah.
final thoughts?
I mean, it's pretty amusing that it's like, what's it? Besides like Kingdom Hearts 3 and maybe a couple other things, that was pretty much just a just all games that came out in previous years. So that's pretty good. Besides
So
that,
what
though,
you're saying is I'm the only person that was on topic in the first place.
by technicality, I guess.
Woo!
I'll try. It's hard. I want to try and play more games that come out this year, but who knows?
It's money and giving a fuck.
Yeah, I have too many games to play right now. It's like I keep getting more and more games, especially after Christmas. It's just I just don't have the
Just
time to
play
keep.
them.
Yeah,
Stop from buying games. You don't need to at the moment if you intend on playing other games.
yeah.
You don't need to 100% them, you just need to campaign them.
This is a fight between two different types of Pokemon.
Well, anyways,
What now?
Well,
got anything else? Because I'm basically done.
Nova, got anything to say?
Two different types of Pokemon.
We'll give him 15 seconds to see if he's
What
talking.
now? There, hit.
Yep, he's typing something.
Alright.
A stunt for Cloud. Oops, it's paralyzed. What a furious battle.
Man, Harry, you're still playing Pokemon Stadium.
Oh yeah, alright. I've been doing this the whole time in the background. I'm almost done with this gym, so I'm more or less getting to the end of my side too.
Alright, so Nova says Sword and Shield are not the 06 of Pokemon, never have been and never will. And he's perfectly correct in that. They are not the 06, and anyone that says that is just fucking wrong.
What now?
What would possess you to just spout such bullshit?
Yeah, right.
And I mean, clearly,
saying that Sword and Shield are the Dark Souls of broken games is just ludicrous.
Yeah.
They strike fighting poses.
Yes, I call those 6 the Dark Souls of broken games. Because good luck surviving the loading screens. It will rend your soul.
Oh, lordy.
What'll it do?
I don't.
Yeah.
Alright, my final thoughts of 2019. 2019 was a fucking nightmare in real life, and it was a nightmare for gaming. There was basically very little value there. Thank fuck it's gone. And Viva la Revolution, for minor political reasons that I won't end on. Join us next time when we scream about Space Wizards.
Oh, is that what we're doing next time?
No.
That's what we're doing next
Oh, God.
because there's already like 2 or 3 people in the chat right now who are like, ooh, Space Wizards, let's angrily destroy each other's friendships over that.
That is gonna be a nightmare and a half. I was expecting Dragon Maid or something.
We have a ridiculous list of rules for that, and then we'll probably do something chill like 2 weeks after that.
Yeah, just
I like
do-
religion.
Oh god, no.
I'll-
We're never just.
I'll probably do like a small stream with just me and Harry where we just talk about Beyond Good and Evil, and I'll give him reference material to look up at that. Like, watch through old E3s and watch through the Dev Diary.
Yeah, or like do like Dragon Maid or something.
Or we could do like Dragon Maid or something. We'll
We'll
do something small
figures.
that doesn't require too much planning, because honestly, I'm still not happy about today, but
At least it went.
I'm a lot happier because it actually fucking happened, but yeah.
At least
Anyway.
it went decently well for what it's worth. Minus
This has
the
been C's Brain Comms,
technical
this
things,
has
yeah.
been our podcast Brain Block, and we'll see you next time.
Yep, see you guys. Okay, that went pretty well.
I think it caught that.
Nice. I mean, minus like the random hiccups.
Alright, and then you, tomorrow, can break into your streaming channel and get your video and upload it to your group channel. Because I'm fucking exhausted and it's a nightmare with me trying to log into like 6 different accounts and unlog everything that I'm already logged into. I don't have a workspace computer where I'm logged into all the C's Brain stuff, but I might think about doing that.
Alright. And since I, this is on my stream now. Since I've basically just stopped using the will to determine what I'm doing next, is next time will either be more Kingdom Hearts 3 data fights or cars again. So yeah, bye.
If it's cars, I look forward to talking more about Ken Ashcroft.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna end my stream
Seriously,
now.
invite me for cars, that was fun.
Yeah, I'm gonna end my stream now. So bye.
Alright, bye.